I don't let him track out, nigga. I don't let him catchy. Niggas know what's going on.
I load it up, I load it up.
All that tough talk, nigga, come be target practice. These 223s taking souls and they doing damage. Stink team with them niggas with exotic fast. So young bitchin' in my ear, I just flew fly him. Gang them just stripped that nigga pieces, grab his phone after. Monkey nuts jumping out the top, going chimpanzee. Gave him SpongeBob hoes, I know he miss Sandy. Hit her up with donut holes, he just yell Randy. They ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some. Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. I think you owe some, strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting. They ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some. Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. I think you owe some, strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting. Nigga, they ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some, bitch. Nigga, Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. Nigga,
Yeah.
I think you owe some, strip, he's a pole dancer.
You know the truth.
He only said
Don't let
one
that
word
go.
and I just start blasting.
Had to flee the scene, it was kinda graphic. It's our first mixtape, but we been established. Give him 32 shots, I'm finna show him magic. Off the muscle, nigga, this a guaranteed classic. If we poppin' out, you know I'm bringing stick, of course. Ballin' out on niggas, I ain't out here tryna play no sport. Kick her out the crib, tell a bitch not to fight the force. Strip a tall nigga pockets loose, he came up short. Niggas nerds and dorks, count these automatic bullets. Hit him in his head, turned his dreadlocks into a mullet. I think you owe something, strip for me, give it up. Got home and hit the field again, that was not enough. Like a nigga double dutch, hop, skip, run and jump. Tripping, falling, pulling up his jeans, he was out of luck. Too gritty, bitch, this for life, this is not for fun. Niggas took my dog, now all these niggas be hard to trust.
They ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some. Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. I think you owe some, strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting. They ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some. Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. I think you owe some, strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting. Nigga, they ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some, bitch. Nigga, Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. Nigga, I think you owe some, strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting.
We Japanese still. You getting cooked in front of your family? Like a Japanese meal. It's Yashu the Hibachi, and none of you niggas can stop me, but can't help but watch me. Man, y'all know what's going on, man. We had somebody send this paper to us, you know, our number one fan, and he made a claim about the paper. So we're going to read the paper because, you know, they say we liars and we manipulate, and, you know, Yashub is the devil. We were just on another show promoting the Elimination Chamber, and I had to remind my brother, man, that I'm actually Satan. I'm actually the great adversary. I'm actually the morning star, the bright morning star, Lucifer himself. You understand? So tonight we're gonna read this article and break down the article to the best of our ability. It's crazy what this social Darwinist is trying to push, man. He's trying to say that Africans are closer to chimps. He's trying to say that we are actually archaic humans. He's been corrected on this before. But you know what we do? We take these racist arguments and we dissect them so we can educate our audience. These people are crazy, man. So we actually going to read the study. The study is powerful. I love this paper, man. I've been liking every bit of this paper that we're about to go into today. And it just shows that what was thought about Western Central African peoples, a lot of what was thought by racist white supremacists has been broken up and destroyed by geneticists. And we're going to break it down to show why. We got the savant from the Levant in the building. What's going on, brother?
Hey, shalom, shalom. Can't wait to get into this paper because this was actually a really good paper. It has a lot of interesting information and it will help edify the people. So can't wait to get in.
Yeah,
Talks
man.
about one of my people, but I won't get into it when, you know, I'll get into it later when I mean by my people. But it talks about various African ethnicities. And so yeah, I think it'll be good to break this down and have the people understand what's going on.
Yeah, man. When we read it and to see how crazy this racist, it's the claim that this certain racist is trying to make. It's just, oh my god, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. Paper ain't saying none of that BS, right? But with that being said, Sean in the building. Is Sean in the house? Shawn Michaels, are you there?
Slow.
Shalom,
Yeah,
brother.
let's get to dealing with this dude, man. I'm tired of dealing with this dude all the time and all of them over there on this dude's Facebook page. This paper, they conveniently skip over all of the talking points that we've been making, that all of the papers have been that we've shared with everybody. Uh, we've been sharing papers showing Eurasians coming into West Africa, that gene flow coming in, and this paper highlights that as well. So we're going to deal with that. You know what I mean? The part that they don't want to talk about, and we're going to deal with their racist talking points as well.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Let me pull the paper up. We won't be
Did
long.
y'all want to show the comments or just address the paper without the comments? It's up to
Hey,
y'all.
Now you
I
can
mean,
show the comments
go
because we
right
want
ahead.
him to know who we dealing with.
All right, all right. So
Hey, we dealing with Legion. We dealing with this Legion, man.
yeah, Legion.
We are many. This one brother
Yeah, that
got a
dude.
million accounts. That's how you know he a troll. Oh, why won't
Mhm.
you address this troll? We've already addressed this troll. You keep making a million accounts to keep trolling. You're not going to debate. You ran your ass off the platform. Avery ran you up out of here, and you you ran with your tail between your legs, and now you're doing troll games. Go
And we
ahead.
know who you are.
Can y'all
I
see?
know who you are.
Yeah.
Go ahead, brother.
Can y'all see?
Yes.
All right. So I'm not going to read everything he says, but this guy's obviously clearly racist, and y'all can pause obviously and read everything. But some of the stuff he says to pretty much black people is words like half breed mutt, as y'all can see right there. They're genetically predisposed to having a low IQ. So this is dealing with some Nazi type of terminology, low IQ, or incel terminology, because that's what incels typically say. And then he says, "Are you an alphabet monkey, or ape? Excuse me." And it says your bloodline is tainted. And then he talks about E1B1A, connecting it to the Uraru
This
remain.
man, this man claims to be a scientist. This man claims to be following the science. Now, where in the papers that it use any of this language? Tainted your bloodline. This is Nazi propaganda, bro. This
Yeah,
is
and
social Darwinism, bro.
anybody that agrees with this guy or follows this guy, you borderline side with Nazis and white supremacists, because all this rhetoric is racist rhetoric. And by the way, in all of my discourses with him, I never said anything remotely racist about white people or Jewish people or anything. If I insulted anybody, I insulted him, but not based on race, because I don't even know what this guy is. But anyways, um, he says the ghost and archaic DNA found in West Africans. We'll explain that here in a second. And then he says, stop monkeying about. I get it's in your nature. You see that it says stop monkeying about. I get it's in your nature. And then he says, you're archaic. And then he goes on about us being archaic.
Inhibition. That sounds like a R&B song. Your inhibitions. That sounds like an R&B song, Sean, from the 80s, bro. But this is, go back to that, man. Go back to that stream, bro. People, this man will say this stuff all day, and then people like, he's not racist. I don't see it. Where was he? When was he being racist? All he said was black people got low IQ. Well,
Half
how is
breed,
that racist?
half breed mutt.
Half breed. He just called you a monkey. He said your bloodline. That not that. Nobody know what racism is. And you know what? To a racist, nothing is racist.
That's true.
Y'all online telling people they not humans. Y'all dehumanizing them, trying to make them as monstrosities or paint them as other than Homo sapien sapien. Y'all brothers have lost y'all damn minds. This is clearly racism. He says, I get it. It's in your nature.
Monkey.
So he's saying it's innate that you're a monkey. It's in you. That's your nature. That's social Darwinism.
And I don't know why this particular Facebook page even allows this type of language and behavior, because people should be getting suspended for this type of language, but they're not.
Hey, shout out the page too, yo. I mean the room. Shout out the
I
group,
don't know
man.
if I
Make
want
sure they
to, though.
understand.
Hey, all them rooms is racist, man.
This is true
His
too.
group is racist. Jews versus what was it? What's it? Jews
Hebrew
versus
Israelites.
Hebrew Israelites, and then the one that see his room, Jacob Israel. I'm gonna say names. I don't give a damn. Jacob Israel's room was made because he was in another racist room, which was called
The Biblical Rumble
the
Room.
Biblical Rumble Room. Was a bunch of damn racist pseudos telling white people they not this, they not that, and white people barking back. So he made his own group to do the same damn thing. They both the same groups.
Yeah,
both
Polarizing opposite sides.
one has black
Polarizing
supremacists,
opposite
the other one
sides.
has white supremacists. It's simple as
Exactly.
that.
It's a place where all racists meet and sling mud and doo-doo at each other. You heard what I said. I said doo-doo.
That's right, though. That's facts, because everything he just said right here is a load of crap. Obviously, it's racist. Here's the next set of comments. He says, science doesn't lie. So just keep this in mind. He's saying that everything right here is science. He says, science doesn't lie. He says, your kind, hear that type of rhetoric, your kind, West African Niger-Congo speaking populations. And then he goes into a graph talking about IQ levels, which again, this is Nazi science. And yeah, that's some white supremacist type behavior. And I don't think when he says stuff like this, to me, I don't think this dude is Jewish. I think he might be like European or something, because this is some
He's a damn
hardcore.
Nazi.
Yeah, he's definitely like a Nazi. This is like hardcore incel behavior. Like, no, I don't think Jewish people even like behave like this. So this is like we're doing like a white incel dude. Or maybe a Puerto Rican with a certain name, but I won't name. But so this is some of the stuff he said. Going to quickly go through it because this is going to lead into the paper. I'm only going to read what's in yellow because that's what's relevant. You being he mistypes. You being a descendant of Niger-Congo speakers and West Africans who are proven and shown by countless studies to harbor archaic ancestry, with the most recent showing 23%, is why I call you archaic and a pre-Adamite, as your lineage predate that of modern humans and are indeed archaic. So let's break this down really quick. So he's saying that 23% of our DNA is archaic, and he's also saying that we are pre-Adamites. And he's saying that our lineage predates modern humans. Talking about West Africans. Anyways, let's get to the next set of comments. He says ape and monkey.
Right. But he says he's following science. Where in science does it say any of this bullshit? Where in science does it talk about pre-Adamites? That's not in the scientific literature.
Yeah, that's not science. Yeah.
But you're saying, that's not science. That's your racist rhetoric. That's your racist rhetoric. Oh, it's in your nature. It's in your nature.
Right.
So how do you explain Nigerians? Right?
Yeah.
How do you explain Nigerian Americans? How do you explain Caribbean Americans? See, y'all focus on African Americans, but if it was innate, why are these Nigerian Americans having higher IQs? Why are they being more successful academically?
Exactly.
Yeah, because
a lot of them got
they got the
degrees.
same genetic makeup, dumb.
Yeah, and they have a lot of Nigerians have degrees and PhDs. You know what I'm saying? They're outpacing everybody.
Aren't Nigerians like doctors and lawyers and all these like high-end jobs? And the funny
accountants, engineers.
And you know the funny thing about these races, they always say, "Oh, it's the Eurasian DNA that makes people intelligent. We're better than those sub-Saharan Africans because we're Eurasian." Well, African Americans have more Eurasian DNA than Nigerians, so shouldn't African Americans be more intelligent than Nigerians who are 100% quote unquote West African?
Yeah, if it's based off genetics, you dumb. This is that social Darwinism shit. This is not science. That's pseudoscience. But he was like, I'm going to court. That's not according to no damn science. Pre-Adamites, that ain't according to no damn science. You ain't gonna find no up-to-date scientific paper talking about these people are pre-Adamites. You ain't gonna find no paper that says that we're not Homo sapiens sapiens, dumb. This dude is an idiot, a racist, bigot idiot, and that's all he is. Most of these people on social media are that. You fall in that same category, buddy.
Yep. And look at his next comment. He says, ape and monkey is simply a colorful euphemism for the divergent archaic hominin ancestry present in West African Niger-Congo speaking populations and observed in numerous scientific studies, even as recently as a study published last week. The archaic hominin ancestry in West African and Niger-Congo speakers breaks off earlier than the split between Denisovians, Neanderthals, and modern humans. To put it simply, it's more divergent and closer to hominid root/chimps than all other groups I listed. Once again, going by the science. So basically, he's saying that we're closer to chimps and the hominid root than, I guess, us being actual humans. Which is funny because how can we, as an E1B1A population, be closer to the root and chimps? Wouldn't that mean that E1B1B is also close to that root? Wouldn't that also mean haplogroup D is close to that root? Wouldn't that mean all haplogroups prior to D, haplogroup C, and haplogroup B, haplogroup A? But why single out E1B1A? Like, how is E1B1A, this specific subclade within the E branch, closer to the hominid root in chimps? Like, I gotta see this dude's
All
Y-DNA
because of
chart.
you, brother. It's all because of you. He hates you so much that all E1B1A, all all E1B1A are monkeys.
Even though that wouldn't even make sense because chimps don't even carry like human haplogroups.
Hey, bro, this shit's so damn silly, man. We can't even get through the first part of this, bro. Look at what you put down. Ape and monkey is simply a colorful euphemism. No, you being racist, bro. We know what you're doing.
Yeah, he's trying to.
Because you don't apply that across the board. We not apes and monkeys. You know we not. You saying it because hold on. You know that's an insult. You know that's a racist insult usually used and utilized against darker people. You know that.
Yeah.
You ain't you weren't born yet. You dumb, but you ain't that damn dumb. We are not archaic humans, just like Europeans are not Neanderthals, which is an archaic hominin, dumbass. They have percentage. Asians are not archaic hominids, even though some of them got up to 15 to 20% Neanderthal, Denisovian. They're not them. It's called an admixture test for a reason. These are components that come from ancestral lines, not that they directly descend from these dudes.
It's not.
You guys don't understand the scientific studies. You don't. None of these papers say the bullshit you saying. None of them. Go ahead.
Yeah, we don't paternally descend from like chimps and apes and monkeys. Like they don't carry E1B1A, unless in your mind they probably do, but scientifically they don't. And then he has a chart trying to basically prove that we're closer to the root and we're closer to chimps and monkeys. But even if you look at the chart, it says West African and Eurasian. So I don't really see what the point is of that. But anyways, I asked him, why do you insist on calling me and black people pre-Adamites, archaic hominids, monkeys, and low IQ? I asked him, several times, why do you call us half-breeds and hybrids and mutts and tainted blood? Why do you call black people that? So I asked him, and this was basically his answer to my question. He said if a lineage splits before the split of Neanderthals, Desovians, and modern humans, it means it's less related to modern humans than even a Neanderthal and Desovian. Is it also it also means it split closer to the root. So he's trying to say that we split from this ancient root that predates modern humans and predates Neanderthals and predates the Denisovians. We come from some ancient root, which doesn't make sense because, again, we're E1B1A population. We have a human Y chromosome. So I don't see how we split from a root that would have existed before E1B1A. How far back is the root anyways for like all these divergences of the Neanderthal and the Desovian and modern humans issue? You know how far back it goes? Because the origin of E1B1A and its brother clade E1B1B, it doesn't go back to the root of humanity, does it not? Just shoot.
My bad, I was muted. 70,000 years ago is when DE is introduced into the world. DE is born 70,000 years ago.
And then when was E1B1A born and E1B1B? When was that?
E1B1A is different estimates between 40 and 20,000 years ago, according to some estimates. It's nowhere near the time of Neanderthal or the time of Denisovian splitting. It's nowhere near this archaic human, and it damn sure ain't near where they're saying this ghost introgression is coming from, which is 3 to 1 million years ago, according to the damn paper he read. The dummy quoted he put the paper in there and didn't even read all of the paper where it says 3 to 1 million years ago. Dumbass.
Yeah.
All he cares about is the archaic part. You know, anything that said archaic.
Yep.
It's so dumb. We done corrected this dude 1,000 times. I'm not gonna keep doing it. But what I will do is educate our audience.
Yeah, that's the only reason we're doing this video, is to show you all the new paper that came out, which is a good paper. And yeah, this isn't necessarily for him. This is for the people. I'm just going to get through some of these comments and we can get to the paper. Don't want to be too long. I only want to take like 30 minutes to do this. So painted, again, just reading what's underlined in yellow. West Africans as, so it painted West Africans as 23% archaic and 77% Mercery, who are a Nilotic group. And we're going to go deep into this paper in a minute because the paper talks about archaic humans and the Mercery population and stuff like that. But basically what this person is saying is that West Africans and Niger Congo people are 23% archaic human and 77% Mercery. And we're going to look into who the Mercery are. But let me get through these other comments. So he says, all these West Central African groups carry this archaic genetic component. And then he says down below in this comment right here, explain this. 23% archaic ancestry. This statement, this latest study has picked up on, this latest study has picked up on and other studies before it. He needs to fix his typing. I.e. West Africans, Bantus, Niger Congo speakers, and their descendants who all carry this ancestry, which includes you and other Afro diaspora groups. So he's saying that all West Central African peoples carry 23% of this archaic ancestry. And we're going to see if that's true. We carry 23% of this archaic DNA and 77% of this Mercery DNA. We're going to look into that. And just to sort of just prove it even more, because he's probably going to deny this in the future in a post, I'm assuming. But again, he says 77% arrow is going to Mercery. I'm reading this right here. 77% arrow is going to Mercery, into an ancestral West African population, and also receives 23% from the archaic source. All modern West African groups and Bantus. So he's saying again, we carry 23% of this archaic DNA, 77% of this Mercery DNA. I just want to hammer this home. Here's another time of him saying it. Paper states West Africans can be modeled as 23% archaic and plus 77% mercery. Again, hammering this home. This is what he's saying. And you'll see why what he says is very wrong.
Hey, he not
Well,
racist,
he's
but
always
he not racist, but he talking about so your bloodline is tainted. That's racist speech, man.
Yeah, he says it right here. Your
That's
bloodline
racist.
is
Your bloodline is tainted. But niggas,
Yeah.
you niggas, all y'all on the internet is full of shit, bro. Y'all know what the hell y'all doing and know what y'all saying. Pretending that's not racist. I don't know that they said. All I said was black people is monkeys. All I said is he had a low IQ. That's all I said. What's wrong with that? Then when we call y'all racist, oh, why he calling me racist? I'm not being no racist. This is the goofy shit y'all do all day. This is blatant racism, man.
Definition of racism.
And not only that, this dude need to take math classes because every time he does this, he screws up the percentages. Like his math is all. I don't know. I don't even know if he might not even have a GED.
But here's a
I know
model.
what he do. He got a bath salt collection. Boy, smoking, man. Nigga smoked all the bath salts, bro.
And so he posts a picture from the study that we're about to read. And he said, well, I didn't underline anything, but and the most up to date model showing exactly that. And we're going to explain what this model is because, like I said, it appears that he didn't quite read the paper.
He ain't read none of this shit. This nigga picture pages. Bill Cosby. Nigga, you just looking at pictures, bro. You can't explain this shit. You don't even know what the hell you looking at, man.
All he cared about was the archaic part. That's all he cared about. And he tried to ad hoc an argument for that.
He's trying to say that we're closely related. Black people are the closest related to chimp. This is not what this fucking chart is saying. You dumbass. You are a dumbass, man.
Yeah, he
did. Your version, living with somebody else, living off the goddamn government, you welfare monkey. You want to call somebody a monkey, you living off welfare, bro. Fuck wrong with you, nigga? He's saying, this is saying y'all come from chimps. No, it's not. It's saying that humans and chimps are the ancestors of hominids, have a common ancestor. That's what it's saying. That's why you have the two arrows pointing to two different directions. One arrow is pointing to a chimp. The other arrow is going towards mankind, dummy.
Exactly.
Two different branches.
You's a dummy, man. But that's what racism do to you. It retards your brain.
Here's what Yeshub's talking about. Chimp is right here. This is its own branch, and this is the human branch.
I don't see your cursor.
Same branch. Oh, you can't. Bro? Oh, my bad. Well, I'm on PowerPoint, so I can't. You probably can't see it, but we'll go to the actual paper and I'll show y'all. Let me finish up with this. So he says, go cry about it to the scientists and academics that publish these studies. So again, he's thinking he's going off the science. Anyways. Oh, well, that's it.
He know he's not going. Where in the paper does it say any of this crazy racist shit that you keep saying? Where's that pre-Adamite shit in the scientific literature? Where in the paper does it say black people or West Africans are closer to chimps than any other human race or hominid? Where does it say that? Nowhere. You using 19th, 18th century shit that's outdated that no up-to-date scientist uses. None whatsoever. Not David Reich. None of them, man.
Yeah, David Reich will never say that.
None of them brothers would use that type of language, you goofy. Use a goofball.
Who he claims to be in contact with, David Reich.
A fucking loser, bro. You's a fucking loser and you on welfare, man. You living off the government. You can't even afford your own place to stay, man.
He's got a roommate at 40 years old.
40-year-old loser, man. 40-year-old virgin.
Can't make noise. Can't make noise.
Yeah, he telling you to shut the fuck up at night. I can't be on the phone because my roommate told me to shut the fuck up. He said, get off the goddamn phone, right? Snatch the phone out your hand and shit. Slap the shit. You looking stupid on the internet. He slapped out your hand, it fell, hit the ground, cracked your goddamn iPhone.
Telling you to keep the noise down while you getting the fuck out my house.
He said, close your eyes, nigga. You wasn't even sleepy. Son, he wasn't even sleepy. He just in there with his eyes closed like a vampire.
Heart racing from all that monster energy drink he been drinking all damn day.
He not moving or nothing. He just stuck. He said, if you move one time, I'm gonna hit you 2 chops to the throat, motherfucker.
Pop, pop.
Now get in the kitchen and wash them dishes.
He making you put on the maid suit and wash dishes and cook food and cook meals for him, man. You's a housewife. You's a housewife, dude.
Maybe that's what he want to be.
He in there washing clothes.
He told him, go in there and wear that lingerie I like.
Oh, no.
Go ahead and put on something pink.
No, wait, no, it's time for him to go feed the bird now. The bird's making noise.
Oh, shit. You know what I'm saying? How you a grown-ass motherfucker living with somebody else and they tell you to shut the fuck up, go to sleep, don't close your eyes. I don't give a damn if you ain't sleeping. How you... and you close your eyes and shit. You breathing hard because you scared you're going to come there and chop your ass in the throat. That's the life you live, man.
Yo, I just pictured that in my head. You know how funny that look? A nigga chopping you in your throat, in your esophagus.
You knew he was gonna cry on your retarded ass.
He made it too easy though, bro. He made it too easy. He cut his own stuff. He didn't have to show this paper. So this is all on him. He didn't have to show the paper at all. He brought this upon himself. So,
and it's crazy because we on the radar. We always on the lookout.
You have no bass in your motherfucking voice. You have no bass in your fucking voice. Nigga sound like he 8. What the fuck are you talking about? You 40 years old, walk around sounding like Mickey Mouse.
Bro, he's 40 years old with 10 Facebook accounts trying to harass someone half his age. Because I'm like in my early mid 20s.
I think it's 40 years.
He's a schizophrenic. That's why. All these damn personalities and shit.
Hey, remember he was on that video sounding like Pinocchio? I'm a real boy.
Mm-hmm.
This nigga was like, I'm a real boy.
Mm-hmm.
I sound like a man. Bitch, your nuts ain't dropped, ho. That's why you mad. That's why you don't like West Africans, man. Because you know we got bass in our fucking voice. You's a boy, man. You's a 40-year-old boy. Now go crawl back in your bubble. You ain't gonna get back on the internet tonight because you know that motherfucker gonna chop you in your goddamn throat.
No,
every time he said that image is crazy.
On Facebook, Yashub, he can type in text, but he can't come on lives anymore because he talked too loud, bro.
Tweety, the nigga said Tweety Bird. You was a Tweety Bird ass nigga. That nigga said he a Tweety Bird.
The only time he do lives on his channel is when his roommate is out with his girl and he got the whole house to himself. Now he can make some noise. His homie went and spent the night out. You know what I'm saying? His roommate went and spent the night out at his girl house. You ain't even got a girl to go spend the night at. This dude here.
Dude hasn't been live in the past few months from
you inside chick. You inside chick, man. You
less
inside
than
chick. The fuck you
less
is,
than
nigga?
100 subscribers.
Nigga, stupid. Are you dumb? Are you dumb? The fuck you gonna talk about anybody? And your ass is living on another man's roof on welfare. Use a welfare hoe, right? Getting chopped in the throat if you make any noise after 9 o'clock, bro.
No, I think he prefers. He'll say that he's a welfare queen. I think that's what
he's a welfare queen.
You gotta get the pronouns right. You don't want them to cancel you, bro.
Nigga ain't got no base. Man, you something else. You got too many X's in your chromosomes, partner. You understand? You got too many X's in your chromosome. That's why you upset, man. That's why you don't like West Africa. That's why you got to say they pre-Adamites and all that, because you look at yourself in the mirror and be like, God damn, I ain't got no muscle, man.
He's 40 years old with a
Bird
light
chest, all this other shit,
with a
man.
light voice. He's 40 years old with a light voice and pimples all over his face. He got acting like a mug.
Well, he did say, or at least I did hear that apparently he don't even like women because they take the vaccine. I don't even understand why
That
that
boy
even.
never. That boy don't like women because he ain't got no choice.
But they don't like his ass.
They don't like his ass, and old boy already claimed him.
Matter of fact, he's homie's Uber driver. He said, "Yo, go pick my girl up and bring her." And then when she get here, and then when you get here, when she gets here, you leave for the night. Get the hell out.
I don't want to hear you. Go in that room, lock that door. If I heard any goddamn thing, 2 chops to the motherfucking throat.
Yeah, that shit sounds so funny, yo. Every time I picture that shit sounds funny as hell, yo. The visual of that.
Oh shit.
All right, let's get into this. Let's get into this paper. Oh, you
Let me
finished
get
your
all-
commentary, bro? You finished the commentary?
Yeah, and let me get all the
Okay.
sources we need to.
Oh, you're
break-
still working on them. Okay.
No. Y'all can pull up the paper. I'm just gonna get the extra sources that's gonna break
Y'all know
down.
how we do. Had to go in on this
Yeah.
this white Nazi racist motherfucker, man.
You got the paper on deck?
I got
'Cause
the
I have it.
paper on deck, man. You know, I got
There it
the
is. Yeah.
full metal jackets on deck. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
All right, so this is the paper that he shared, and in his mind, in his Nazi racist mind, this paper is saying that black people are closer to chimps than any other group, right? That West Africans are have blood that's tainted, and that West Africans are pre-Adamites. None of that shit's in his paper, but that's what he said.
Yeah,
I
I'm pretty
follow the
sure.
science, bro.
Yeah,
If
I'm
I
pretty
call
sure.
you monkey, that's what the science say, because the science is saying you's a damn monkey.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure David Reich would never call African Americans pre-Adamites and chimps and stuff. But hey,
He would say, well, he wants to say that, but he's a professional. So he's not going to say that, but I'm going to tell you. He's a damn idiot.
a racist one at that.
Mm.
Who's got questionable, from what I've understood and heard, has questionable things on his phone. But I won't go into that.
Yeah, let's just deal with the science. Let's deal with the paper. Let's deal with the science now. We
We
done
already
clowned his ass enough. Yeah, we done clowned his ass enough.
Whole genome sequencing reveals a complex. Hold on. Reveals a complex African population demographic history and signature of local adaptation. Well, let me do it like this real quick. Hold on, real quick. We're gonna get right to this paper, man. Y'all gonna learn something tonight. I like this paper, right? Whole genome sequence reveals a complex African population demographic history and signatures of local adaptation. March 2nd, 23rd. So this is a brand spanking new paper, man. We appreciate you, brother, man, for giving us this paper. We appreciate you.
100%.
It says highlights. Let's see if anywhere in the highlights does it say that black people are chimps and black people have tainted blood. West Africans have tainted blood. What else? What else he say? He also
Monkeys.
said they're monkeys. West Africans ain't never moved no damn where. He also said that
Pre-Adamites, don't forget
they're
that.
pre-Adamites. Let's see if this scientific literature is gonna say any of that dumb shit that he said. Whole genome sequencing 180 Africans identifies millions of unreported variants. Okay, so we didn't see it there. Okay, what about here? Complex African demographic history with ancient structure, admixture, and introgression. There shouldn't be any demographic history with people that don't fucking move, right? They static.
Maybe he doesn't know what that word means.
Demographic history, the study of human movement, migratory routes. There shouldn't be any of that if West Africans were just static and didn't move. Southern and Central African hunter-gatherers share a unique ancient common ancestry, signatures of local adaptation for skin color, immune response, height, and metabolism. I ain't seen nothing about no pre-Adamites. I ain't seen nothing about black people are predisposed to having lower IQs and they're just dumb by default because the genetic elements. That's nowhere in here. That's just your racist ass trying to speak and speaking to this. That's your eisegesis. You're reading into it. You're not reading the paper. You're reading into it. Your Nazi racist ass ideology.
Hey, Lasonia Crutchfield, I know you're listening. Pay attention.
Summary: we conduct high coverage, less than 30 times, whole genome sequence of 180 individuals from 12 indigenous African populations. We identify millions of unreported variants, many predicted to be functionally important. We observed that the ancestors of Southern African sun and Central African rainforest hunter-gatherers diverged from other populations less than 200,000 years ago and maintain a large effective population size. We observe evidence for ancient population structure in Africa and for multiple introgression events from ghost populations with highly diverged genetic lineages. I'm going to read that again. We observe evidence for ancient population structure in Africa and for multiple introgression events from ghost populations with highly diverged genetic lineages. Does it say that the human lineages or hominid lineages are the ghost populations? No. That's not what that said. Multiple introgression events from ghost population. Now, what does introgression mean? We got to educate this slow redneck motherfucker, man. We got to educate him, man. Trailer park trash. We got to educate your ass. Introgression. Introgression. The transfer of genetic information from one species to another as a result of hybridization between them and repeated backcrossing. That's what introgression means. For one group to another. Not saying the other group directly descends from them, just like when you see Europeans with Neanderthal admixture. That means somewhere along the line, their ancient ancestral lines mix with Neanderthals. Not that they are Neanderthals.
R1B is not Neanderthal.
That's a Homo sapiens sapien.
Yeah,
Male
Facts.
and female lines. Homo sapiens sapien. There
Facts.
are no archaic hominins. There are no Neanderthals, Denisovians walking this earth. Everybody is a Homo sapiens sapien. Say it with me. Homo sapiens sapien. We got to teach y'all basic shit because you niggas is on retarded time every time you get on social media. Your ass is retarded, remedial. So we got to teach you the basics. Why the fuck is you dealing with the deepness, the deep scientific articles if you can't even understand the basics?
Bro, the fact that we have to tell a grown person that humans are humans, humans are not chimps.
How do you expect to explain this to a motherfucker with shit stains in his drawers at 40 years old, sitting around eating Hot Pockets and drinking Monsters, Monster energy drinks, and on the internet popping pimples and picking up his roommates or his landlord's girl?
I know that's facts because this dude cannot have a job, have 10 Facebook accounts. No way you have a job because you're on those accounts almost 24/7. I see you.
Because you're a welfare queen. So all you can do is you can sit on the internet all day and troll motherfuckers. You're a welfare queen.
Dang. That's crazy.
Send that nigga outside to wash my car.
10 accounts. No working man has 10 Facebook accounts. But anyways, go ahead.
Yo, man. It says, we observe evidence for ancient population structure in Africa and for multiple introgression events from ghost populations with highly diverged genetic lineages. Highly diverged genetic lineages. Although currently geographically isolated, we observe evidence for gene flow between eastern and southern Khoisan speaking hunter-gatherer populations lasting until approximately 12,000 years ago. We identify signatures of local adaptation for traits related to skin color, immune response, height, and metabolic processes. We identify a positively selected variant in the lightly pigmented sun that influences pigmentation in vitro by regulating the enhancer activity and gene expression of PDPK1. And this is the thing about it. These guys, you try to read into this paper and use eisegesis to say that all this evil shit, degenerate shit about West Africans. But the paper is actually a great paper, and you're misrepresenting it.
Mm-hmm.
Completely. The paper talks about the sun having all of the genes responsible for lighter skin. Just like a Scandinavian would have, the sun have all those genes in them. So this paper talks about a variety of topics, but your dumb, stupid, redneck trailer park mind can only come up with pre-Adamites and niggas is stupid. They born dumb genetic because they're genetics. That's what you came up with. How did you get that? How did you get that from this?
Yeah, out of everything to learn from, you know.
Here's the graphical abstract right here.
Crazy.
So I want to get a good image of this.
All right, I got all my sources. I was collecting all the sources while you was reading that.
While I was blowing up, huh?
Yep. Because what I plan on doing is when we get a chance, we can look at some of these different sources that kind of go into the populations that were used.
Right. So if you look at this image here, you see to the left, it talks about the whole genome sequencing of 180 individuals from 12 indigenous African population. So that's 15 per population, right? So it's 15 individuals representing each population. And what this paper does is it uses this small group called the Tikari, which is like a Bantu group in Cameroon, a Bantu speaking group in Cameroon, and the hetero, however you say it. It's a South African group that clustered tightly to the other San groups, right? But they speak Bantu. With that being said, there's something that says they have 22% archaic introgression. To him, that means your blood is tainted. Two things.
Well, hold on, we really got to slow this down though. So the two populations that are used in this paper is Tikari and Herero for this specific portion that we're reading, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I'm going to share my screen really quick.
Yeah.
Unless y'all wanted to wait to get into it a little bit deeper later, or did you want to go ahead and break some of this down a little bit?
I want to talk about to the right here. So it says,
all right, go ahead, and then I'll do that.
Africans have a complex demographic history involving archaic introgression, regional and cross-continental migration. See, you just went to archaic and stopped. You said they were stuck in one place. What does this say? Africans have a complex demographic history, meaning they moved, right? They were not static. They were not stuck. They were not in just one place, right? Involving archaic introgression, regional, meaning where they were, and I want you to say it, cross-continental migration. Because we gotta teach this nigga like he 2 years old. Stupid! We gotta talk to you like you a toddler, man. It's the Mickey Mouse Clubhouse. Come inside, we got fun inside. MIC, we gotta teach you like that, man. Regional cross.
You actually have to be clever at being stupid to come up with something like this. So I clap for this girl for being a smart dumbass.
This is why none of you motherfuckers would debate, bro. This is why none of you niggas would debate, man. Because y'all say dumb shit like this and you know the yap game coming. We gonna spin the block and keep spinning the block until ain't nobody left, man.
And it's crazy because he sounds
with your shit leaking out. Go, bro. Let's go, man.
Yeah, and it's crazy because he sounds clever. You know what I'm saying? And people in that room, in that group, they applaud him. They applaud him.
What? 5 people applaud him? 5 people on Facebook.
All his same, his other accounts.
Exactly.
The only one that's not part of his account is the counselor. Mitch Crutchfield. I didn't even want to bring up her name tonight, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like this dude is continuous. It doesn't stop. Like no matter what, like his racism is so deep and embedded in him, he can't help but keep coming after West Africans.
It's over 9,000, Sean. It's
His
over
pseudo,
9,000.
his pseudo's over now.
Over 9,000.
At least only like 3 people actually like see his information, and we can actually break down on YouTube, why he's wrong. So,
You
hey,
can break down on YouTube and literally nobody will watch it.
exactly.
We would have to put the video on our channel and review it so more people could see it. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
Exactly.
So this graph says cross-continental migration, admixture events, and local adaptation. That's what it says. Now, when you look at the graph, you can see older branches of hominids, archaic hominids, older branches to the left, and then younger branches to the right. Do y'all see that? You can see the archaic integration from the older groups into the modern groups. That's all it's saying. Not that these modern groups are direct descendants of these older archaic groups. It's just some of their genes made their way down into some West Africans, also Chinese, and also Europeans. Dumb.
Oh,
Just like you
wait,
have
so it's not
Neanderthals.
just West Africans? It's
No.
all human populations?
Well, this is what
Yes.
one of his
Yes.
posts he
All
made.
human populations have it.
Right. And one of
Oh,
his posts, one of his comments he made, it said it right at the bottom of the paragraph that it was a part of all modern humans' genome.
so all modern humans have some form of archaic DNA. So we're all tainted. All humans are tainted.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
according to this dumbass.
And aren't Neanderthals, they're considering with this ghost population that they would be the sister branch to this ghost population? The only reason they're calling them ghost populations is because they haven't found any remains to be able to get viable DNA from to call them or give them a proper name like Neanderthal or Denisovians.
Mm-hmm.
Idiot.
It don't say that, and we read right from the goddamn fucking paper. It don't say that. They misrepresenting it. They manipulate. They tell half truths. Nigga, that's what you doing. Ain't nothing in here that says pre-Adamite. Ain't nothing in here that says anything about Africans having tainted blood. That's you saying that shit. You the one that's manipulating, misrepresenting the papers. Y'all always do that shit. They misrepresent. They said Bantus had Laverian. You some goofy son of a bitches, man. Goofy ass niggas, man. Mad because we read papers that say Africans have Levantine DNA. We read papers that say Africans were in North Africa. When we say Africans were in East Africa, or we say that we're in the Middle East or in the Arabian Peninsula, you niggas get mad.
Yeah,
And this paper is going to highlight that. So I thank him for this paper. This paper is going to highlight that again. Our same talking points. The same talking points that we use from different studies keep saying, all of them keep saying the same thing. Eurasian gene flow into Africa, West Africa. It's like you just helped us out here with this one. You lobbed us a slam dunk.
Yeah, they're getting mad because we're basically saying that we're human. We're actually defending ourselves because you're trying to say that we're not human, and because of that, we have a low IQ. Which, by the way, that type of rhetoric always resorts into bloodshed and death, some type of genocide, because that's what Dylan Ruth believed in. Oh, blacks, they're low IQ, they're monkeys, they're not even human. And then what happens? Boom, he shoots up a school. I mean, excuse me, he shoots
innocent church goers.
Yeah, shoots up a church. Excuse me. So
yeah, but those talking points don't work no more. They you know what I'm saying? They getting even more and more mad because those talking points are being walked back, especially by cats like us. Especially messing with the Yap gang, you're gonna get your wig pushed back. We're gonna spin the block and we're gonna push your wig back.
right, but I just wanted to point that out for people. Like, we're defending ourselves against this dude who's trying to say that we're not even human, and he's getting mad. He's getting offended at the fact that we're getting offended of you literally calling us not human. Like what?
Yeah.
You have no room to get offended, sir.
Retarded motherfucker.
Ain't
You
that something?
was a dumb son of a bitch, bro.
Like
Ain't
right,
that something?
like this paper right here, we're breaking this out to prove that we're human. Like we're not even talking about whether we're from Israel or North Africa. No, bro, we're trying to prove we're human because your type of rhetoric gets us killed.
Yep. Yep. That's exactly what was going on. There's a great book on this called When Darwin Got to Africa, man. And that was what was going on. You had white supremacists coming into Africa teaching that blacks were less than, that they were degenerate, and they deserved to be captured, killed, exploited, all those things.
Arms chopped off, hands chopped off.
Yeah.
Murder.
They were not humans. They were not humans. That's why.
And this is exactly what this dude is trying to teach, because we all saw the comments. Go back to the beginning of the video. You'll see all the comments of what he made. You know, we are human.
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing racist to a racist, bro. You niggas be all over the fucking place, man. All over the goddamn place. You know, ain't nothing racist to a racist. Motherfucker say 1,000 racist things. That ain't racist. Okay, what's racist then, motherfucker?
Going against my people, that's racist.
Yeah. We ain't got no problem. That's a funny thing. You got the wrong goddamn group, dummy. We ain't got no problem with Jews or none of that. Y'all do.
Exactly. We defend Jews. We defend white people, Europeans. You know, there's videos of me being called white because I defend them. Like people assume that I'm white. I'm going to clip up all the videos that go against the BHI so people can see that, you know.
That's because you talk proper, brother. That's why they, you know, they make those comments.
Yeah. So yeah,
But
he
for the
came to the
record,
wrong group, a non-racist group, and then he's gonna. Oh my goodness. Anyways, go ahead.
For the record, this goes. You know, we're getting at this dude tonight, but to be honest, in that group, even the Israelite spectrum was just as goddamn racist.
100%, 100%.
Facts. That's their whole doctrine. From top to bottom, y'all the same.
And that's what I'm trying to tell you, you Black Hebrew Israelites, drop the racism. You don't have to demarcate Jewish ancestry to say that you are Jewish. They can be just as Jewish as you. You don't have to go down this Khazar route, which is false and pseudo. You just you do your own thing. Let them do their own thing.
I'm gonna go straight to the points here, bro, because it is getting late. So this is what I'm gonna do here. Boom. You see what this says? What does that say? Across all. What does all mean? Across all pairs of population. We infer that all, ALL, all modern humans descend from deeply structured populations and that they derive approximately 5 to 15% of their ancestry from a lineage that may have diverged as long ago as 1 to 3 million years ago.
Can somebody say archaic?
Come on,
that's a long time.
Can somebody say archaic?
Away from the computer, man. Fuck this shit.
That's a long time. From what I remember, E1B1A does not go back 1 to 3 million years ago.
But he's an idiot. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry.
But furthermore, this is talking about all human populations having archaic DNA from 5% to 15%. That's interesting. All humans.
Exactly. And that's what I was saying earlier about the post that he made or the comment that he made. The comment, Yeshua back there losing his mind. But the comment that he made, or he pulled a piece, maybe a small paragraph from this study, and at the very bottom of the paragraph, it said all modern populations have received some of archaic DNA. Like this dude is like, and he posted like he was somewhere, he went somewhere with this. Man, this dude is ridiculous.
And you know the funny thing is that he tried to basically say that, oh, you have archaic DNA. That proves that you're not an Israelite, even though I don't even think the conversation was about Israelites, if I can remember correctly. I may be wrong, so don't quote me on that. But basically, it's trying to say, since you have archaic DNA, there's no way you can be an Israelite. But this
Right.
paper literally says all modern humans
Right.
have archaic DNA from 5 to 15%. So therefore, the Israelites are going to have archaic DNA. They're
Well,
going to
we
have
know that, but according to him, you're not even human.
Ah,
You see, he's not even going that far with it. He wants to push you all the way back to 1 to 3 million years ago. That's where he wants to put you. That's where he wants to put us. He wants to put us all the way back 1 to 3 million years ago.
if he puts us back to 1 through 3 million years ago, and our brother clade is haplogroup E1B1B, then wouldn't E1B1B also have to go back 1 through 3 million years ago?
Yeah, this is the special ed idiotic nonsense. You know what I'm saying? I can't even embarrass
It's
or I
hard.
can't even be disrespectful to special ed people. I can't even do that. Like I think this dude, like I think somebody
You're a donut. You're so stupid. You're so stupid. You're stupid. Dumb.
Does that sum up what you mean, Sean?
basically. Thank you. Thank you. It's
Oh
getting
man,
late, so I'm stumbling over my words because it's late. But
no, I don't blame you, bro. You there,
let's
you shoot?
continue to walk through this. He stepped away. You could take over. You got
Well,
this.
I'm
to
back,
pull up
man.
the.
I'm back,
Oh,
man.
okay.
This shit is
Okay.
so
Okay.
fucking retarded. If you take,
Also, I'm hoping that we touch on. I'm sorry, Yeshua, but I'm hoping that we touch on the points and the points we've been making over the years about because this touches on the Fulani. Once we finish dealing with him and his archaic nonsense, let's show what this paper does show.
all right. So again, I'm gonna read it again for the people that just walked in. This man is claiming that our blood is tainted because we have archaic admixture in some African groups. Right? That means our blood is tainted with pre-Adamites. But this guy going with the science, with the modern science, up to date science, but that ain't in the damn paper. That's what he's saying. But if you read the paper, you slow trailer park trash, have sex with your sister ass, right? if you just would have read the fucking paper, it says we infer that all modern humans descend from deeply structured populations and that they derive approximately 5% to 15% of their ancestry from a lineage that may have diverged as long ago as 1 to 3 million years ago. Consistent with previous findings suggesting archaic introgression in some African populations. That's what it says. You do not read these papers. You white trash. You are a trailer park incest baby. You smoke bath salts. You probably thought of shooting up your goddamn school. That's what you are, man.
Well, remember when I debated him, he said I was using too many sources. So of course he doesn't read these sources, bro. He was whining and crying about, oh, you're using too many sources. Stop.
Goddamn redneck. Get some bass in your voice, man.
And these African populations that he's talking about would be like the Khoisan. They name them in here.
No,
that,
the Takar, it says it.
Takar, the Haru. Yeah.
Yeah, when you're ready to get to that part, I definitely have some things to
Right.
show about those populations.
We did interbreed with these people, but these people only had a little, you know what I'm saying? These people had some of that genome in them. They wasn't fully, archaic. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to make like the
hunter-gatherer populations.
Hunter-gatherer, yeah, rainforest hunter-gatherers, the Zoo, the Haru. He's trying to make all these people like pre-Adamites.
Even though the paper says nothing about pre-Adamites, by the way.
Right, so but he's go ahead.
The Takari, Herero, rainforest hunter-gatherers cluster together. Why? Because these groups mix together.
Mm-hmm.
They mix together.
Before we even got there. Before we even got there, they was mixing together.
You want me to get that paper, bro? Like, this shit retarded, man.
Just have it on deck.
You have it on the
side. Retarded son of a bitch, bro. That's all you are, man. It's a waste of time to even go over this shit.
And
Because
in
Yeah,
this
but this
paper,
is
they
funny
say
too,
that
though.
these people, and in this paper, they say that these populations, these African, these hunter-gatherer populations, they mixed amongst each other. The sand people, the rainforest hunter-gatherers, they mixed amongst each other before
yeah.
haplogroup even got into West Africa. They was
Mhm,
already mixing together.
mhm. That's a fact, man.
Damn idiot.
Yeah, because these are pygmy and khoisan, which are
Right.
human, by the way. They're
Yes.
not. They're not human. They're
Right.
Right.
human.
They just
But
retain components of older ancestry. That's
right.
all. That's
That's
all the
it.
paper is saying. Just like white people or Europeans and even Africans retain genomes and components from older archaic ancestries like Neanderthal, Denisovan. Now
I
we
was
have a
about to
history
say the same
archaic.
thing.
They're all archaic humans, dummy.
Just like Europeans have Neanderthals, because historically hunter-gatherers, Caucasus hunter-gatherers, people of that nature, they interbred. You know what I'm saying, they interbred with the source population in those areas. Like it's crazy. These, but go ahead. I'm gonna shut up. Let's
No,
get to it.
that's a fact, man.
Yeah, that's right, bro. But whenever, which part are we at now? Because when we get to
And
the,
this right here is huge. It says yet
Yes.
analysis with these statistics based on allele sharing suggests that the out of Africa source population was
Mhm.
ancestral to all non-rainforest hunter-gatherers and non-sun populations in our data set. You dumbass. You know who that is? That's
That's us.
everybody outside of A and B, you stupid motherfucker.
Exactly.
wait a minute. So this is saying
The
that E1
integration.
B1A populations have Eurasian DNA.
Yeah.
Oh snap!
It's saying all non-African groups are outside of that. Outside
Right.
of let me read it again.
These are basal
Based on allele
populations.
sharing suggests that out of Africa's source population was ancestral to all non-RHG, which is rainforest hunter-gatherer groups like your pygmies, right? And non-sun populations in our data set.
You
Come
should
on.
start from the top.
And then
Consistent.
it says this suggests that the clustering of non-African population with the Fulani, Amhara, and Dizi in figure 2 is due to gene flow from non-Africans into these populations directly or indirectly, which we confirm
Right.
using these statistics.
Isn't the Fulani a West African population?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you start
It's
from here? Did you start from here, bro? Because this is to get the full context.
I can, brother.
Consistent with the previous studies. Go
I
ahead. I'm
got you,
sorry.
brother. I got you, brother. I'm just going point for point right now, man.
Okay.
That's all. I got you. I know what you want. I know where it got. Trust me, brother. I know where you want to go, man. Listen, I'm not gonna steer you straight, brother. Trust me. Watch this. Watch this. We're really gonna beat this nigga black and blue here in a minute, man. Watch this real quick, man.
He's the Nazi crash dummy for us.
He's a mean one.
Mr. Grinch.
Thank you for this study, by the way. Thank you.
Let me show you
Tell
something
me.
real quick. Let me just go to
Just
the quick.
pinpointed all the points we've been making.
Come on, man. Let me show you something about my lineage, my Bantu lineage that we venerate. Motherfucker gonna talk about some. Y'all don't talk about West African history, motherfucker. I just did a whole series on West African history, dumb.
It's above their head. It's above their pay grade. You know what I'm
They
saying? They
only
don't
catch
I've
get
the
it.
done
videos.
videos on Bantu expansions. I've done more videos on sub-Saharan African groups than any of you motherfuckers. These pro-black motherfuckers is not doing it. Y'all not making those videos. I have done more videos about Fulani, Yoruba, Igbo, sub-Saharan Africans in general than any of your favorite platforms.
Mhm.
I put money on that, man. You
Mhm.
niggas ain't talking about this shit. None of you
At
niggas.
all.
I'm
At
the only
all.
one who reads entire books, like not just a portion of the book, but the entire book.
Mhm.
Got me fucked up talking about some. Yeah, I don't talk about West Africa. Bitch, watch the show. Maybe you'll
No,
learn something.
no, they
I
only
like
want
this
to catch
part
the
right
book.
here about figure 2. The remaining population is largely clustered by their current geographical locations with a few exceptions. For example, the Fulani from Cameroon cluster with Afro-Asiatic speaking populations in East Africa. There's more to this, but I'm gonna let my bro go ahead and do what he's doing
Yeah, I'm gonna let
because
you
this
have it here in a
brings
minute.
out.
I just want to go here, man.
Okay.
Shout out to everybody that's part of the Genesis 49ers resource group. This is from a paper called known as Ancient Genomes Reveal Complex Patterns of Population Movement, Interaction, and Replacement. Keyword replacement in Sub-Saharan Africa. June 12, 2020. If you go to the paper, during the pastoral Neolithic PN, people related to Chalcolithic. Because remember, he was like, oh, no, hey, evidence of Bronze Age Levantine groups. Watch this. People related to Chalcolithic and Bronze Age Levantine groups entered Eastern Africa and mixed there with individuals related later to Stone Age foragers and with individuals related to present-day Dinka and what was proposed to have been at least a two-step process. But it gets better. We do know Bronze Age and Copper Age Levantine DNA did disperse and diverge in Sub-Saharan Africa. We do know that, right? Ancestry related to present-day Bantu speakers, which is today prevalent across Sub-Saharan Africa, is absent from most ancient Sub-Saharan African genomes analyzed to date.
How about that?
Interesting. Very interesting.
Anyway, let's go back to the paper. Let's go back to the paper. But they didn't make any movements. They were isolates. They were always isolates. All the way in the past, they never moved. They wasn't in North Africa. They were stuck in Western Central Africa. Matter of fact, don't even say Western Central Africa. They were stuck in Sri Lanka.
How about that? We beat them across the head with that one too. Dumbass.
Yeah, y'all got your ass whooped on that paper. Well, what does this paper have to do with North Africa? The damn paper literally says they have elements coming from the north. Tell me you ain't read the book without telling me you ain't read the damn book. All right, hold on, man. Hold on real quick.
What do you call that? ADD, attention. What do you call that shit?
I can't even give him that. The dude just don't pay attention to nothing.
No, that's what I'm saying. When he reads the paper, he blanks out as he's reading. He'll read a whole paragraph and wouldn't remember because he blacks out while he's reading. And then, he gets his cognizance back again and he continues to read, and he only picks up when, his brain is alerted every time he sees something about archaic. Then it goes to sleep when it speaks on.
Oh, he got ADHD.
ADHD. Yes.
He needs to stop screaming so much. Scream like a banshee. That's why he be missing stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's read this now. Phylogenetic relationship of African populations in a worldwide context. After merging our African WGS data with WGS data for Papians and Simon's Genome Diversity Project in the Northern and Western European from Utah and Tuscans and Han Chinese in Beijing from the 1,000 Genome Project, we constructed a neighbor joining phylogenetic tree using MEGA, which neglects migrations and recombination. Therefore, admixed populations may cluster near each other. We have observed that the Jehonsi, which is a sun group, right, and the Shu, they're both sun groups, right? These are sun groups, mostly haplogroup A groups, right? Have the most basal lineages of all modern humans. We already knew this, right? Followed by the rainforest hunter-gatherers, which are primarily BM60, right?
Mm-hmm.
The remaining population largely clustered by their current geographical location with a few exceptions. Let's talk about these exceptions. Because you can't accept that your ancestors didn't move no goddamn well. They were stuck. They were trees. Matter of fact, they were flora. They were fucking flora. They ain't even humans. They ain't even fauna.
Matter of fact, they rocks.
They're not fucking man million. They flora. They just stuck in the ground. They was planted in the ground, stuck there, grew roots, and didn't move.
Nah, we boulders and rocks because we dumb.
We boulders and rocks.
we don't move. We dumb. We don't think. You know what I'm saying? We rocks. We ain't even flora.
Right. The remaining population largely clustered by the current geographical locations with a few exceptions. For example, the Fulani from Cameroon clustered with Afro-Asiatic speaking populations in East Africa. Wait a minute. How the fuck is the Fulani in Cameroon clustering with Afro-Asiatic speaking populations in East Africa? If you're saying that no, African Americans, y'all just can't accept that your ancestors are just stuck. They were stuck in West Africa. They didn't go no goddamn where. They were there all the time. You know, from the beginning of time, Adam and Eve, the motherfuckers was there.
Wait a minute, aren't the Fulani a West African population? So couldn't African Americans easily descend from the Fulani?
Let's go there.
Yeah.
Let's go
There's
there.
more. There's more to it. More to this paper.
Green Saharan male lineage. Hold on. Give me the paper. Green Saharan male lineages. Right here. The history of male migration.
You can't see your screen.
I know. I'm pulling it.
Yeah, he's pulling it up. You'll put it here. Yeah.
I'm pulling it up. I want this one, and then I want the peopling of the last Green Sahara. Right? Let me go down. There's a chart here that tells you EU 174. That's Fulani. EU 174. What does that say right there?
There it is.
Oh, E1B1A.
E1B1A.
EU 174. Now, the gray, I'm going to show you right here, is American admixture population. That African Americans, a lot of the African Americans are Fulani descendants, you dumb ass.
Oh, snap.
A large percentage of African American males are Fulani descendants. Ancient Sahelian migrants, you dumbass.
And according to the paper, the Fulani were what? Travelers going from West Africa to East Africa and even have East African DNA. Do I have that correct?
Facts.
So to tickle the rest of the audience, do you mind scroll up a little bit? Let's go to EU 290. Let's go to Yoruba. It's down there, right? If this is the same scale.
EU 290 is down
EU 290 right here. Look, North African, Sub-Saharan African, and African American.
Oh,
listen, y'all stop playing games with us, man. We're gonna come through with that iron. Shout out all the iron smelters. We're gonna come through with that iron and chop your goddamn head off with your nonsense talk.
Y'all some dumbass niggas, man. Talking about some, I follow the sign. No, the fuck you don't, man.
I'm still waiting for the part.
This is the science. This is up-to-date science.
And hold up, anybody else that fall under EM2, all of the subclades underneath, you see them under here. You can follow and see where you fall.
I'm still waiting for the science paper that says we descend from pre-Adamites. Where is that?
Where that paper at? You got to go all the way to 1800s and shit.
Nah, well, you know, it's this is exercise for us, bro. This keeps us sharp. Even though it's dumb shit, it keeps us sharp.
Yeah, this is good because if any of our people...
it makes sure that all of our people, it makes sure that all of our people, or all the people that follow us and wants, you know, proper understanding of what we deal with, what they want to learn, it's here. We're giving it to them. They could go back and refer to any of this stuff, and they have proper arguments for anybody who tries to tell them different.
Right. This is for y'all. This isn't for him.
Right.
To spread this video out.
Right. So when people like him come about, you know how to battle his ass.
Exactly.
You mean a neo-Nazi?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, he's a throwback. He hasn't evolved. He hasn't evolved since the Nazis were running around here doing what they do.
Yep.
All right, so where are we at? The remaining population is largely clustered by their current geographical location with a few exceptions. For example, the Fulani from Cameroon clustered with Afro-Asiatic speaking populations in East Africa, suggesting common ancestry with those populations and a language replacement during their migration across the Sahel. So What this is saying, what the other papers were saying, that these people originally spoke an Afro-Asiatic language. The Fulani, the E1B1A carriers, the U174 carriers were originally Afro-Asiatic speaking populations, you racist son of a bitch. Because that's another thing they say, oh, the niggas ain't got nothing. Are you fucking kidding me?
And this is why we're here. This is why the Yup Gang is here. We're gonna continue every time a study come out. Everybody got their little niche space that they stay in. This is what we do. You want to make sure you have a new something in your arsenal to battle these neo-Nazis, because he would be considered a neo-Nazi. He's not a throwback Nazi, but he's using all the Nazi talking points. Here you go. This is what we got for you. This is what we showing you. Afro-Asiatics.
The dumb motherfucker brought up the mercy right after he was
How
like,
about that?
You motherfuckers ain't been nowhere. Wait a minute. So you saying the mercy is us, right?
Wait, hold on. Let's wait till we get exactly to that portion, and I got something for him on the mercy.
Let's go.
Yeah, that screen, that slideshow he got.
As further, the Chabu cluster with the Nilo-Saharan speaking mercy, consistent with the linguistic classification of the Chabu language. The Hadza and the Sandawi, and we know the Sandawi consist of E1B1A and E1B1B.
Yeah.
Sandawi clustered to get near each other, though they did not form a monophyletic group, meaning one lineage group, possibly due to strong admixture between the Sandawi and other East African populations. Consistent with previous studies, the Fulani and two Ethiopian Afro-Asiatic speaking populations, the Amhara and Dizi, are genetically closest to non-African populations based on phylogenetic analysis. Yet analysis with these statistics based on allele sharing suggests that the Africa source population was ancestral to all non-rainforest hunter-gatherers, non-sun populations in our data set. That's everybody except the sun group.
Them in the head, yeah.
In the pygmies.
Wait, so that will include Niger Congo groups?
All of them.
All of them.
Everybody outside of the sun and rainforest groups, they would be fall in that category because according to the phylogenetic tree, they all descend from CTM168. Eurasian Adam.
So just for those who don't know, explain to them who the rainforest hunter-gatherers and the sand people descend from. What would be their haplogroup?
And explain what we have as well in this portion.
No, I'm keeping the Bible out of this. I don't even want to do that.
Not Bible. We're talking genetics.
I got you. This is what I bring up. The non-rainforest hunter-gatherers are haplogroup B. They're Paleo-Africans. The sun groups are primarily haplogroup A, also a Paleo-African groups. Everyone else descends from CTM168. That includes your Yoruba people, your Igbo people, most of your Congo speakers. We're not talking about the ones that introgress into those groups that had B and A. Your T markers, your J markers, they all come from Eurasian Adam. It's just that simple, man. This shit ain't...
Hey, yo, where's my leather slapper? Where's my leather slapper with the lead in it? Where's that? Hold on. Let me reach for smack this nigga in the head with this shit.
Man.
It says this suggests that the clustering of non-African population with Fulani, Amhara, and Dizi in Figure 2 is due to gene flow from non-Africans into these populations directly or indirectly, which we confirm using these statistics. All right. Let's go down. And as you can see here, this graph here, neighbor joining phylogeny, African representative global individuals based on whole genome sequence data. The Takari, Herero, and the rainforest hunter-gatherers all clustered together. Why? Because they admixed. Right? Just like the Sandawi and the Hadza, they cluster together because they admixed.
And this is before we got there.
Yeah, the Sandawi are E1B1A, E1B1B markers that mix with Paleo-African groups. No, the signs we actually following the goddamn signs. You not. Watch this. Let me type in Sandawi. What's the genetic ancestry of the Hats and the Sandawi?
Hmm.
I'm gonna go
Bro
straight
got
to
a slideshow on that too.
it.
we stay loaded. All gats is loaded. Where the switch at? Hit the switch on
Facts.
your stick. Hit the switch.
Let me just go
Facts.
straight to it, man. So this is a paper, Genetic Ancestry of Hassa and the Sandawi. Peoples reveals ancient population structure in Africa. Boom. We just type it in. Boom, boom. Let's go right to it. Let's go right to it, man. Control F. E1B1A. It says here in the Sandawi population, E1B1A and E1B1B haplogroups are more common with lower frequencies of B2 and A3B2 haplogroups. So we do know E1B1A, E1B1B is there. These groups mixed with the indigenous B2 and A3B2 groups that were there and pushed them down south. If you would have read this paper, you would know that. You understand? You would know that. And then when you look at the autosome admixture, E1B1A, E1B1B are more common. But when you look at the autosome admixture, it reflects how much they came in and mixed with the locals. Watch this. It says here, using autosomal data, concluded that Hassa population 72 ancestry, 72% of the ancestry distantly related to the Khoisan and Pygmy ancestries, with 22% of Niger-Congo ancestry and 6% Cushitic ancestry. Similarly, the Sandawi population has 73% ancestry distantly related to Khoisan and Pygmy ancestries, with 18% Niger-Congo ancestry and 9% Cushitic ancestry. They have the lion's share of male lines here. Most of the lines in the Sandawi are E1B1A, E1B1B on the male side, but only 18% of its Niger-Congo ancestry, and only 9%, which is related, usually to Cushitic, is usually related to E1B1B. This is why you can't go off autosome alone, because autosome just shows admixture. That's all it shows. And in order for you to admix with somebody, you got to be able to have sex with them. So if they're in East Africa and you got their components and you're in West Africa, at some point, y'all are at the same area fucking. That's the only way you can get it.
Yep.
Talking about West Africans, they just stuck. What the fuck is the Bantu expansion, dumbass, who is stuck in West Africa? How are we going to expand if we stuck in West Africa? Slow motherfuckers, man. All right. Let me go back. Anyway, the Takata hetero rainforest groups, all admix groups, right? The Shu, the Johansi, these are all sun groups, and they even admix with E1B1A because the Bantu expansion. As E1B1A markers traveled south, they mixed with the sun groups. Come on, man. What you see, the Amhara and the Dizzy cluster with the Fulani because they have similar autosomes. Then you see the Mercy and the Chabu. The Mercy cluster with the Dinka. I haven't found any Y chromosome DNA data on them, but them clustering so close to the Dinka like that, I would presume that a lot of the males will be haplogroup A. Let's go down. We're not gonna be long. We're gonna do a part 2.
Oh, we're going to do another one tomorrow?
Yeah, because it's getting late.
All right.
Little bro ready to bust some shots. He said, I can't bust my gun till tomorrow.
Let me go down here, man. Let's go.
Gotta get a few shots out. Just a few.
Yeah, this is target practice, baby. Keep it sharp. This is target practice.
It says Niger-Congo related ancestry was inferred to be widely spread across sub-Saharan Africa, but was most common in Western and Central African Niger-Congo speaking populations. For example, the Lamundi and the Takari, compared to Eastern and Southern Niger-Congo speaking populations that have admixed to varying degrees with neighboring populations. The Herero, who speak a Bantu language, have low levels of admixture with the San. That's what I pointed out earlier. Furthermore, the San that we have high levels, we just read about, of Afro-Asiatic related light blue 50%. So these E1B1A and E1B1B groups have high levels of Afro-Asiatic DNA. Why they have that? They're isolated and they don't move. How the fuck they have that? You use the fucking trailer park trash retard,
Yeah.
man.
We stones, we don't move. We just, boulders. We sitting for
How the fuck
millennia.
they got Afro-Asiatic related DNA? How the Fulani got non-African DNA? How any of these people have any goddamn DNA outside of the context of their region?
At 50%.
He ought to know that population.
No, he does know. He's just trying to fool his people, or the people that listen to it, because I won't say everybody,
Exactly.
that's in that room or that group, are his people. So, because he not even Mena. He's just a goddamn Nazi.
He's Puerto Rican.
That's what he is?
Yeah.
Oh, so he's a Nazi Puerto Rican.
Yep.
It says in Niagara, Congo, red approximately 25% ancestry, but also low levels of ancestry related to the Hadza, brown, and sun, yellow, dark green, reflecting shared common ancestry in our ancient gene flow from southern and eastern African hunter-gatherer populations. You can see that large blue, man. Let me go down. In the lightning round, man. All right, so this is where we're getting close to the part of his claim, right? It says here, when modeling 10 admixture events, QP graph estimated that East African Khoisan population, the Hadza and the Sandawi, respectively derive 71% and 38% of the ancestry from a population ancestral to the Southern African Khoisan population, consistent with migration events between the Hadza, the Sandawi, and San, inferred from tree mix with 9 migration events. These populations, particularly the Sandawi, also derive ancestry from Afro-Asiatic-like population, likely reflected recent Afro-Asiatic gene flow.
That would be us. That would be the Bantu expansion. That would be what we did.
I'm about to just throw everything down and just walk away, man. Again, this shit.
Nah, we're gonna finish this up, bro. We're not gonna leave any. We're not gonna leave anything hanging. When we weave together a new sweater, we don't leave a string hanging, so they can unravel.
You burn that motherfucker off. That's what you do. You burn it.
Yeah. So this way they don't try to unravel it.
It says right here, we estimated that the Ethiopian population, Amhara, DC, Mercy, and Chabu derive 98% and 2% of their ancestry from a population ancestral to the Hadza and a population ancestral to all modern human populations, respectively. What is that? What is that 2%? That archaic human, the archaic hominin that he thinks is special. But it says here, population ancestral to all modern humans populations, respectively, and 5 to 15% of all humans have it, right? Well, 5 to 15% of humans get their genomes from that. It said the latter may reflect Neanderthal introgression introduced into Ethiopians indirectly due to high levels of non-African admixture. Furthermore, 80% of the Omonic-speaking Dizi ancestry can be traced back to the Chabu-related population and 20% to an Amhara-related population. In addition, QP graph indicates that the RHG derives 37%. This is rainforest, right? 37% of their ancestry from a population ancestral to the sand, and 63% of their ancestry from Niger, Congo-speaking populations, consistent with the high levels of Bantu gene flow to the RHG. This is why when you go up to this chart here, I'm trying to teach this dumbass something. You have gene flow from Bantus going into the RHG. This is why they cluster. That's why the Takari, Herero, and RHG cluster. Because we mix with Paleo-African groups, man. It's just that damn simple.
Very simple.
The relationship of the Takari and Herero with other populations is complex. They could be modeled as having 23% ancestry related to an archaic population that diverged prior to the divergence of all modern human populations, possibly reflecting introgression from an archaic population into modern populations. Now, I didn't say that they are archaic hominids. It didn't say that, dumbass.
Didn't say that they were chimps or monkeys or anything.
Didn't say they were chimps. Didn't say that the Takari are actually monkeys, and didn't say they had tainted blood. None of that.
Didn't say that there were pre-Adamites.
Nothing.
That's some shit you said.
But he's going by the science, you know. He's going by the science.
Yeah, he's going, and y'all manipulating it. Fuck out of here.
I'm gonna call them what we call all the other motherfuckers. You're goddamn pseudo.
Yep.
You take science and you twist it.
Yep.
You pseudoscience. You take from the real geneticists, and then you go off and then you do like what Darwin did and everybody else did. You goddamn pseudo.
Mm-hmm.
It says here, this is the killer part after this. Because this Takari, they're a small Bantu group. Not all West Africans have 23% ancestry, like he tried to imply, related
Actually,
to
let's
archaic
break that down
population.
piece by piece. Do we got
Yeah,
time
but
for that?
his math is all screwed up too. Well, you know what? Because I'm gonna stay up with you. You know what? I'm gonna stay up with you tonight. If Yeshub need to go to sleep, me and you will keep the live going, and we'll run through everything, and we'll shut
Okay.
the live down.
Oh,
All
We'll
right,
do
we can
that.
beautiful, because I'll get up and walk away in a minute.
Yeah, that's cool. But
All
let
right,
us know
I'm
when
like-
you're walking away, and then we'll take over.
Yeah,
Yeah,
go
Because
ahead.
we got to get through this whole shit.
Yeah, let me show y'all this. So he's trying to claim, and I showed y'all in the previous presentation that he basically tried to say we have 23% archaic DNA and we have 77% mercery. So let's just break this down piece by piece really quick. We're going to come right back to the paper. But first,
All right, so
before I do
you got
that,
the helm. You got the helm now. You got to take over the paper. Go back to the paper. Come to the new paper.
I don't think your shoe left yet, has it?
No, but still, until he comes back, he might have. You know what I'm saying?
You
Just
should put the paper. Well, actually, I have access to the paper, but
yeah, you don't have it because we all have it.
yeah, I have access.
I
To it.
have it on deck as well. So whenever you're ready.
So I just want to remind y'all again the things he said. So y'all see right here, he basically says right here that you know you being a descendant of Niger Congo speakers and West Africans who are proven and shown by countless studies to harbor archaic ancestry, with the most recent showing 23%, is why I call you archaic and a pre-Adamite. Again, the
Yeah,
paper
here
notes
he
say
go with his math. Here he go with his bullshit math. Go ahead.
exactly. As your lineage predate that of modern humans and are indeed archaic. All of that's off. And then I'm going to go to his other comment really quick. Basically, him saying that we have all this DNA. So he says West Africans as 23% archaic and 77% mercery, who are a nilotic group. We'll talk about that here in a second. Again, 77% arrow is going to mystery into an ancestral West African population and also receives 23% from an archaic source. All modern West African groups and Bantus. He says right here, paper states West Africans can be modeled as 23% archaic and 77% mercery. So I just want to show y'all that's what he said.
Right, and then
He's
what
going
did this paper say?
exactly. So let's actually see how much basal West African DNA uh, that people like Yoruba and Mandinka actually have. So let me first show that.
Yeah.
And
Real quick, little bro, before you finish, go ahead and pull it up. Go ahead and pull it up. I want to say something real quick.
yeah, go ahead and speak while I pull this up. Filibuster
Yeah.
for me.
So I'm hoping that Yeshu come back on because I want him to finish his thoughts on the paper. Hopefully he didn't disappear for the night. If I could get a hold of him for like 10 more minutes to finish off the paper, that'll be perfect. Yeshu, be there?
Yeah, we can ask Yeshua how long he's going to stay
Yeah.
when he gets back. But
Because I want him to finish off his thought process.
Y'all took the him for 2 seconds, man.
No, we're gonna give it back. We're gonna take over, but I want you to finish off your points and the points of the paper that you wanted to. You know what I'm saying? That you wanted to
This
pinpoint.
is what I
Once
was
you're done
gonna
with
say.
that, then me and Evie will take it from there.
This is what I was gonna say right here, bro. Dang, I went somewhere else in the paper. Where am I at? I was gonna say here. People always do this, man. People always do this cherry picking shit. Look, boom. Let me just go type in mercy. The tree mix analyzed showed evidence of gene flow between the mercy and the ancestor Takari and Herrero starting in 5 migration events. So this part right here I wanted to bring up because it says 77% ancestry from a population related to Nilo-Saharan speaking Mercy. Where the Mercy at?
Oh yeah, I plan on going into that as well.
He will,
The-
but
the-
I'll let
the-
him land his plane because we're gonna shoot off from this into your slideshow, and this is
Okay.
perfect because what this does, this is actually a migration process from 1 through 11, if I'm not mistaken. This is the admixture process through their migration patterns. Well, go ahead, Michu. I'm sorry.
Right. So the Mercy are Nilo-Saharan speaking people. This racist, redneck, trailer trash son of a bitch is saying that West Africans didn't migrate. But let's go down. There's a map here. Hold on. Let me find this map. And all you did was give us content for the channel, you dumb
Was
son of
it the PCA map? Which map you looking for?
Oh, it's a literal
Oh,
geographic
literal map. Okay.
map.
Yeah, that's literally what he
Topography.
did.
It's right
the
here.
There it is. The topography map. Okay.
Mhm.
You know, just addressing what you said about content, that's literally what he did. Because you know, the excuse he always makes as to why he doesn't want to come on the channel and debate is because, oh, you're just gonna make money off me and be monetized. And like, bro, we can make money off you and be
This
monetized
dude channel don't
with or
even get.
without.
He has
Who
no
are
more
you?
traction.
Using nobody, bro.
Right. We know who he is. He don't get no more traction than we do. Matter of fact, he probably getting less traction.
Severely less. Hey, look at
Mhm.
this. The Mercy are in the Horn of fucking Africa. They're over
Mhm.
here.
In Ethiopia.
In Ethiopia. According to him, we supposed to be over here all the time
Right.
until slavery.
But this is why you brought up the paper. This is why you know, when you sent the paper, you dropped those papers for Ethiopia and the Mercy, excuse me, and the populations in Ethiopia. There was like 2 papers you dropped, and you already showed some paragraphs from those other papers. This is why you brung this up because he's a goddamn fool. He don't know how to take papers and show and correlate them together. I yield.
If the Mercy are all the way in East Africa, and the Takari, which is a very small Bantu group, I think they're like 174,000 strong. They're a
Mhm.
very small group.
And look where they're at.
They're over here. How in the fuck did these people share? Why do they share genes? If we were just stuck in West Africa, how do they share genes? How do the Takari have 77% of their genes similar to the Mercy? It means these groups had to be together at one point to have sex and share genes, showing that these groups are transmigratory.
And
It's
look,
that fucking
the SLC, they have a SLC variant. And sorry,
Who, the Mercy? No, the Mercy don't have that. You talking about the Sun?
no, right.
The Sun tries
But
to
go ahead. I'm sorry. Go
look
ahead.
at all those genes that the Sun have: SLC,
Mm-hmm.
485, OCA2,
Mm-hmm.
TYRPI, and the
That
PDP. Yeah.
that would come in with Eurasian gene flow. I'm sorry, bro. I'm gonna let you finish.
You got it, man. You got it. I ain't saying nothing, man. Look, I'm just pointing out the lazy scholarship of this racist retard. In order for these West African groups to get DNA from groups in East Africa, they had to either be, what are you going to say? The East Africans came on to West Africa and went back to try to keep your doctrine alive? No, the Fulani, the paper flat out say the Fulani wasn't always here. They're E1B1A, primarily.
Yeah, most of them.
You silly, man. You silly. And then we know Amhara have Egyptian components, and the Fulani connected them. The Mercy have Egyptian components. The Takari connect with them. We know the Sun people, according to this paper, were normally in East Africa until another Afro-Asiatic group and pastoralist group pushed them down south, according to this damn paper. See, we actually read the fucking papers. You don't.
And that would make sense because the Nile River would connect all these people and all these populations as they're traveling down the Nile River, or because that was the source of their sustenance. Whether it was pastoralists or hunter gatherers, there were people that lived around the water source.
Right. Facts.
And what's interesting about that is that the Tikari, which this paper talks about, they have an oral tradition of coming from Sudan, and I'm going to bring that
Mhm.
up once Yeshub is done with his.
I'm
Yeah,
done. I'm done. Take it. Got it. You got it, man.
you
Take it.
sure?
All right,
You
you
sure?
heard
I know
you
you
heard.
got something else, bro. You got something else. Come on, give me something else.
Let my brother Ivory cook, man.
All
What you say
right,
earlier,
cool.
Ivory? I'm finna what?
No, I was about to say, are you finna leave?
No,
No,
I'm
that's
talking
not
about
what you
earlier.
said. We talking
No,
about
you said
earlier. You
earlier.
said I'm about to cook a nigga. Yo, we
Oh
got
yeah.
that, bruh. We got that. We got that. That I ain't never heard you talk like that.
No,
Go ahead, man.
I've said it before. All right. So
Not publicly, but go ahead. I'm sorry, not publicly, but go ahead.
all right here. So again, that paper said 23% archaic DNA in the Musri and excuse me, in the Tikari and the Herero. Let me actually pull up the paper myself because this is your shoe screen. So let me pull it up here. All right, here we go. Right here. Can y'all see my screen? Type in 23.
There
Yep.
you go. We got it now.
All these tabs getting going. All right,
All
here we
right,
go.
start getting rid of tabs, bro, so we can shoot through this. If you're not using them, I'm sorry. And
All
we're
right.
gonna do this tomorrow too.
Yeah, I'm just going to quickly go through this and then be done. So the paper
All right.
talks about 23% of this archaic DNA in the Takari and the Herero. Here it is, Takari and Herero.
Hmm.
So he's the person claimed that we are the population that has this 23% ancestry. I read that earlier before Yeshub started speaking. Let's see how much see how much archaic DNA that West Africans like Yoruba and Mandinka have when it comes to this archaic ancestry. So this is the paper that we're going to look at, titled "Insights into the Human Demographic History of Africa Through Whole Genome Sequence Analysis," and we're going to look at the amount of archaic or basal West African DNA that they have. So when it comes to basal West African DNA in the Yoruba and Mende and West Africans, it says according to, and this is what I'm reading right here, according to Skoglund et al. 2017, an extinct basal Western African lineage has contributed to current West Africans' gene pools, specifically 13% for the Mende and 9% for the Yoruba. And then it says these people, not going to name their names, of 2018 estimated that 8% of
Dervasula.
Yoruba, Devasula, and San Rakaman, whatever, of 2018, estimated 8% of Yoruba population gene pool traces its origin to an unidentified archaic population. So only 9%, well, 8%, 9% for the Yoruba, and 13% for the Mende,
13%. Right.
not 23%.
And then he added something else to that, right?
Uh,
77%. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
77% Mercery when it came
Oh,
to
okay.
them.
We
But
haven't
let's
got to
let's
that yet.
let's go back to the paper though, really quick. Let's go back to this paper. So this paper is only talking about the Takari and the Herero. This paper is not talking about the Yoruba, the Mende, the Igbo, the Ashanti, the Akan. It's only talking about the
Right.
Takari and the Herero, not all West Africans.
The other populations.
Yeah, so let's actually show why this is significant. So I'm going to pull up the Herero and the Takari. Let's pull these people up. So the Herero, can y'all see my screen? Can y'all see it? The Herero, Sean.
I can see it.
All right. The Herero, the total population of them is only like 317,000. That's how many of these people exist. That's not a significant population. Not every single African American descends from the Herero. We all don't come from them. They're a specific population. And they also have a very interesting history where they had contact with the Cushitic people. Y'all can read this Wikipedia page on your own. But I just want to show you all the population density of the people. And they do have a connection with the Cushites. And we'll see why that's important here in a second. And here is the Takari. Show y'all, oops, didn't mean to do that. Let me show y'all the population of the Takari. The Takari range at about 168,000. Can you see my screen? In terms of total population, 168,000. Every single African American is not going to descend from the Takari. Now, when it comes to the DNA of the Herero and the Takari, here's why all of this is significant. So 23% of their DNA is this archaic ancestry, but the 77% is the Nilo-Saharan Musri. The Nilo-Saharan Musri. So where are these people from? I'm going to show y'all who the Musri are. And essentially, with him saying this, he's basically trying to say, my computer's acting up a little bit. He's basically trying to allude to the fact that we, as African Americans or West Africans, are basically a Nilo-Saharan Ethiopian population with the majority of our DNA, because that's the 77% of this in the Takari and the Herero. And I just want to show you all a map of where these people are located in. So let me type in Musri Nilo-Saharan map, and y'all should be able to see right here where they're located. About to share my screen right here. So they're located in southern Ethiopia. This is where the Musri or the Musri people are. They're located in the Horn of Africa of Ethiopia. And this is where 77% of the Takari and the Herero DNA comes from. So like Yashub said earlier, it'll be kind of strange for him to say we've been stuck in West and Central Africa since forever if 77% of our autosomal DNA is coming from Ethiopia with the Nilo-Saharan population. But we all don't descend from Musri people to begin with. That's ludicrous. If African Americans take a DNA test, it's not going to come up 77% Horn of Africa Ethiopian Musri. Like, it's retarded. So let's go back to the paper really quick, because there's something else that needs to be pointed out when it comes to these populations. So when it comes to the Y-DNA, or actually I could just save this part for tomorrow, but what I want to do is go to the Takari and actually show you why it's important when it comes to the origins of the Musri. So when it comes to Takari's, like their oral traditions, the Takari say in their oral tradition states that the Takari originated along the Nile Valley in present-day Sudan. So the person who made this post saying that we are Takari and Herero, you do know you're basically saying and proving that we come from the Nile River near, Egypt and Nubia,
East
present-day
Africa,
Sudan. Yeah.
Northeast Africa.
And this actually explains why they have 77% Nilo-Saharan DNA. Their oral tradition backs up their genetic claim, them coming from East Africa, the Nile River. So, and the same thing for the Herero. They also have a similar tradition of coming from the East. So is that what you're saying, person who made this post, that we indeed come from the Nile River? we indeed come from the Egypt-Sudan region? And when you look at the Musri DNA, Yeshua brought this out. We'll bring this out tomorrow, I believe. But the Musri carry Dinka and Egyptian DNA.
Now we'll stay on as long as you want to stay on, bro. I'm here with you. I'm gonna rock with you.
That paper. I have to find it real quick.
Oh, okay.
As a matter of fact, I might already have it.
I got it.
So
Genesis 49's message, Facebook message.
Resource page.
No, not
Wait,
the
hold
Hold
on.
on.
Is this it right here? Jashu, structure and ancestry patterns of Ethiopians and genome autosomal DNA.
It's in the messenger. That might be. Hold up. I
Yep,
downloaded it
that's
too.
it.
I
That's
think I
it.
have it.
All right,
That's
all
it.
right.
Go to the
Okay.
So
graph.
let's
Go
look
to
at the
Because I have
Mercy.
it too.
Here's the Mercery again. Where are they located? Horn of Africa, Ethiopia. And what is their DNA? All that green is Dinka, Sudan. That
Mhm.
gray is Egypt, and that orange is Mota. Now, this is what 77% in the Takari. Let's go back. So Takari and Herero, they have 77% of this Nilo-Saharan Mercery DNA. And the Mercery and their autosomal breakup is Dinka, Egypt, and Mota. Are you saying, person who made this quote claiming that we are the Takari and the Herero, are you saying that we are mostly Dinka, have Egyptian DNA, and Mota? Is that what you're saying? I don't think that's what you're trying to say, but that's essentially what you'll have to say. Now, going into the
After
Takari
this
oral,
ass whipping, he gonna have to say that.
exactly. And if he says that, going off the oral tradition of the Takari, they say they come from the Nile Valley in present day Sudan. So what? Are you saying that we're what's the term? Nile Valley Africans? Is that what you're saying? Because the Takari origins is basically now the Nile Valley. And
Hey,
it's funny
Mhm.
how the
real
DNA
quick,
lines up with their oral traditions. Go ahead.
Max, go back to that chart, man. You left a lot of
Yeah.
meat
There's a
on that.
lot of meat on
Go
that.
back to that chart, bro.
I'm just trying to let him rock out, but you're right, bro. I was trying to let him rock out, but
Look
it's
at
like
the
a
Y'all
lot of
go ahead.
Amhara.
meat
Y'all
here.
go ahead. Yeah.
Look at the Amhara that
Uh-huh.
The Fulani cluster close with. What
The
is their
Amhara.
component?
Wait,
What
you
is their
talking about? Hold on. Let me go to the
The
paper.
Amhara right here on the graph. Pull it down just a little bit.
Oh, my bad. Let me go back.
the Fulani cluster with the Amhara and the
No,
Dizi? Right
Oh,
there.
there you go.
okay.
There
Yeah.
you go.
The Amhara are Afro-Asiatic group. Majority of their ancestral DNA, autosomal DNA components go back to Egypt.
Egypt.
Majority of,
Right.
Mm.
That's true. That
and the Fulani tie with those people, cluster with those people tightly, and the Sandawi people do as well.
Mm-hmm.
With 50% of their autosomal DNA. Y'all want to play the autosomal game until the autosomes don't point in your damn
Don't
favor.
point it, and then they turn around and start calling us archaic humans and all kind of shit.
that's a good
Okay.
point. The Fulani do get a lot of their DNA from the Amhara, according to that paper that
Mm-hmm.
this person showed us. So and most of them hard DNA is Egyptian. So yeah, good very good insight on that.
This is why I need the whole team together. I know we gave Yashub a break for a minute. We were supposed to take over the helm, but he jumped right in when he sees something. So this is why the whole team need to be together because you know what I'm saying. We start to missing things.
Yeah, we all see different things. Yeah.
Yeah,
But let's see what else I want to bring out. A lot of
but
that
this is a good map because
go
everyone
go
that
ahead,
they
go ahead.
pretty much yeah everyone that they pretty much spoke about well the main the PCA plots that you know what I'm saying who they the principal the principal populations that they talked about is right here and we're seeing where they cluster at you know and which part of the continent.
Right. And one thing to point out about the Musri, so let's go back to the paper. The Takari and the Herero have 77% of this Nilo-Saharan Musri DNA. I know we keep reiterating this, but I just want to make that clear. By the way, African Americans are not 77% Nilo-Saharan in terms of their autosomal DNA. But anyways, one can allude to basically we can make this safe assumption that it was a Nilo-Saharan type of population that came from East Africa, went to West Africa, and intermingled with possibly uh, some hunter-gatherer populations and some West African populations that created the Takari and the Herero. And what would the Y DNA of the Takari and the Herero be? It was difficult to look and find a lot of papers that talked about their Y DNA, but we did manage to find some information. So first, let's deal with the Mercery, because remember, 77% of the Takari and the Hero's DNA is Mercery.
Yes,
And
mercy,
let's go
mercy,
to Mercy.
mercy. Yes,
My bad.
mercy.
Mercy. So the Mercy are basically over uh, like maybe 75% Dinka. So we can look at the Dinka people's Y-DNA to kind of get a idea of what the Takari and Heroes haplogroups would be. And when it comes to the Dinka, and don't worry, I'm going to use some more papers here in a second. But the Dinka are mostly like 62% haplogroup A. So we can probably make a safe assumption that the Takari and the Herero are going to have haplogroup A. That's not E1B1A, by the way. And that also might explain why they have such a high degree of that archaic ancestry, because we do notice that a lot of the haplogroup A and B populations have more archaic DNA. So yeah, the Dinka are A markers at 62%, and the Mercy, is that it? Mercy? The Mercy have about 75% Dinka. They basically kind of are like a sub branch of the Dinka, I guess you can say, because they're Nilo-Saharan.
Mm-hmm.
And I did find some papers, like I said, on the populations like the Herero. And so let's look at the Herero's Y-DNA. What is their Y-DNA? Herero. Can you see my screen? Oh, hold on. Let me go up to the paper. So this is the paper that we're looking at right here. Y'all can pause it if you want to look at the information. Let's get to the relevant part.
Old paper, but a very good paper.
Yes, very good. So what does it say about the Herero? So it says the pastoralist Herero-speaking Kuvel people were additionally characterized by relatively high frequencies of Y chromosome 12% and mtDNA 22% Khoisan lineages.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. And it says, as well as by a presence of the 14010 C lactose uh,
Persistence
resistance mutation,
mutation.
6%, which likely originated in non-Bantu pastoralists from East
East
Africa.
Africa.
Now, doesn't that kind of fit with what the other paper was saying about the Nilo-Saharan DNA?
Mm-hmm.
And also, they have, in terms of their Y-DNA, Khoisan lineages at 12%, and most Khoisan
So that would be
populations.
A.
Exactly. Let me just go back over here to this haplogroup A frequency. Khoisan people and Dinka people are at 62 to 66% haplogroup A. So again, like I said, the Herero and the Takari are probably going to have a mixture of E1B1A, but also haplogroup A as well. And it's the haplogroup A markers is likely the reason why they have a lot of that archaic DNA. The archaic DNA
Right.
isn't coming from the E1B1A people; it's coming from the haplogroup A people.
Mm-hmm.
Let me see what else I can bring up out of this. All right, here's another paper that kind of goes into it, the Herero, and we're going to look at some PCA charts.
So would it be safe to say, because we're talking archaic DNA now, still, I mean, that's part of the topic. So would it be safe to say that the E1B1A is responsible for the small percentage of Neanderthal DNA coming into, well, not just them, but haplogroup J, haplogroup R, that came into Africa, West Africa, Central Africa, would have brought in the Neanderthal variant that we all pretty much share?
Yeah, that would make the most logical sense.
Okay.
100%. And I'm going to try to make this graph bigger so y'all can see, because y'all need to look at this chart.
Oh
right
yeah, we
here.
at your slideshow now. Perfect.
No, this ain't the slideshow. I'm still flipping back and forth. But I want to. I'm trying to pull up this right here. I'm going to have to make this smaller. This isn't my slideshow, but basically somebody made this, and this is talking about the PCA. So let's look at the Herero, who they, are closest to in terms of a PCA chart. The Herero are closest to these populations right here, and these are basically like Khoisan populations. Right here in gray is Bantu. Bantu's over here. There is a few Bantu.
We don't see a
PCA.
cursor. Where's your cursor?
Oh, my bad. Well, this is on
Oh, okay,
PowerPoint,
right.
so you might not be able to see it. But basically, the blue you see with the stars and the circle, you should see the word Herero, Himba, and Herero. That's where they plot on the PCA chart. And go to another PCA chart where you see right here in the red, the Herero, they're all the way down here. They're not even in West Africa. The Herero are in like South Africa. A lot of their
And this heat map shows that they are mainly in South Africa.
exactly. They're not even like a West African people. And so the reason I wanted to show y'all the PCA chart and show y'all that they are basically close to the Khoisan groups. Excuse me, the Khoisan groups. Go back right here on the PCA chart is because if you look at the chart from the actual study, let's go back to the study. If you look at this chart right here, it's going to basically show the same thing. I'm going to pull up a more HD version of this. So give me a
Looks
second.
like the root of a tree.
Yeah. And I'm going to make this bigger so y'all can see it. I have to rearrange a few things. Sorry about that, y'all.
Yeah, this is deep roots of human populations.
Exactly. So here we go. Share my screen right here. All right, y'all should be able to see that.
It's coming. There it is.
All right. So here's the chart and just back out. Let's look at number A. Oops. Let's look at A. So again, he tried to say that African Americans, West Africans are chimps. Chimp is over here.
Right.
The human branch is over here. So no, we are not chimps. But also, let's go down to the Herero and the Jakari. So this is their branch. They kind of have their own thing. The paper is only talking about the Herero and the Jakari. It's not talking about Yoruba and Dinka and people like that.
Right.
So
The only people they talk about is the Fulani, the closest.
West. Yeah.
Right.
So here is the Mercy. Mercy going right over here, 77%, which is Nilo-Saharan, by the way. It's Ethiopian Nilo-Saharan. And then the 23% archaic. And this is in the Herero, the Dakari, but it's also in Khoisan group.
Zoo. Yeah,
I'm not going to try to pronounce that, but this is a
Zoo.
Khoisan population. And this is rainforest hunter-gatherers, which is pygmies and
They have the highest percentage at 37%.
Exactly. Right. There it is.
37% in rainforest hunter-gatherers, pygmies and Khoisans. So again, Takari, Herero, basically they're matching forest hunter-gatherers. They're not typical West African pastoralists. They're not. But what makes the Herero and the Takari distinct, though, from pygmies and Khoisan is the fact that they do have this Mercy DNA, which is Nilo-Saharan, Mercer DNA, which is Nilo-Saharan Ethiopian. That's what makes them kind of, a bit distinct, I guess you can say. But let me see if there's anything else that I want to show.
I like this. This look like a tree, like you know what I'm saying? Like the stump of a tree coming out. This is how deep roots go. Human roots, no different than the tree roots. But go ahead. I'm sorry. I was just
exactly. You're right.
An extra.
No, you're right, because the Jakari are right here, the Herero right here. And again, I don't see Yoruba or Mandinka or Ashanti or anything like that. Don't see that. But then you have your rainforest hunter-gatherers. You have your Khoisan populations, who I'm not going to try to pronounce. And then you have Hadza and these, other, basically populations that mixed with Khoisans and
right. That's what those blue bars indicate, gene flow in between each group. Whenever you see a blue bar, that's gene flow. So out of Africa event, those are non-Africans. There's a clear connection between out of African events or non-Africans with Fulani and Amhara and Dizzy. And then those connections bleed over to the Mercy. And then
right.
The Hadza, then the Sandawi, then the Takari. They all match and blend because they have gene flow coming in between each other. And the branches up top are the ghost lineages that are older than all of these lineages you see on the bottom.
Exactly. And so
this is why we do this. This is, these people don't really understand. I'll say these people, the fool ass motherfuckers, excuse my language. The fools that try to play like they understand this don't really get what we do here and how we connect the dots, how we are very thorough with our explanation, and we don't all do it, you know what I'm saying? We do it as a group. So some people may know certain parts, you know what I'm saying? We all put this together like a melting pot of like a goulash in the sense of, excuse me, in the sense of putting all this together. Everybody has their role to play, or everybody has a better understanding of certain segments of the DNA, and we walk through this whole thing, man. They don't know who they're messing with. The Yap Gang is not like some, fly by night group.
Nope. And so let me pull up this
We
book.
do
This
what
is a
we do.
book. Oh, my bad. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm
It's
sorry, Ken.
obvious where we getting the archaic components from. It's from mixing with pygmies. It's from mixing with Paleo Africans. If you read the paper, you can understand that
Mhm.
easily.
It makes it
Easily.
very clear.
Yeah, because they got the highest percentage here at 37%. And then when you go read the paper that was made by David Wright, they had like 64%. It's obviously they're the source of it.
Hmm.
It's
Oh,
obvious.
this is a good book
But
too.
guess what? Pygmies are still Homo sapiens sapien. They not archaic hominins
Exactly.
either. It's just their
Khoisan,
ancestors retain those genes from those older hominin groups. That's
right?
it.
The Khoisan, everybody, all those populations.
Yep. And this is a book right here. Again, we're talking about the Takari and the Herero, not not what the commenter was trying to make. So
Hmm.
we're going to look more into the Y-DNA because again, it would seem like the Takari and the Herero are a mixture of haplogroup A as well as some E1B1A, which would make sense because we kind of went near Khoisans and Pygmies and mixed with them, so obviously. But in the study of four Bantu-speaking populations from southwest uh, Angola, Cole et al. In 2009 found a high proportion of both mtDNA and Y chromosomal autochthonous haplogroups, 22% and 12% respectively, in the Herero speaking pastoralist Kuvel, indicating a substantial degree of intermarriage or possibly language shift from local Khoisan foragers to the language and way of life of uh, Ku, the Kuvel
Kuval,
ancestors. Kuval ancestors. So 22% and 12% of their DNA is Khoisan. And it seems like there was intermarriage and language shift. This is why the Takari, well, speaking about the Hororos more specifically, this is why the Hororos speak a Niger Congo Bantu language because there was language shift. Just because someone in sub Saharan Africa speaks a Niger Congo language doesn't necessarily mean they are E1B1A. E1B1A dominated the Pygmies and the Khoisans, and some of these groups were sort of forced to speak Bantu when they conquered them, or Bantus mixed with them and language like kind of fused together. Because that's
language
how
is
you have the.
plastic.
Go ahead.
Language is plastic. So, I mean, even culture. So that's not hard to even fathom.
Exactly. Like the Ngosa people, they're a mixture of Bantu and Khoisan. You can even tell in the language that they are. But let me see if there's anything else I want to bring up before I end it here because we're heading to the 2 hour mark and I don't want to overload people. And we're going to have a part two. Correct, y'all? Part two tomorrow.
That's cool as long as we could get it done early because I'm starting to slur my words because I'm so goddamn tired.
Yeah, same. I'm not all the way there as well. But well, I suppose we could stop here because I don't see anything else. Yeah, I think I covered a lot. By the way, let me show you all this book. I almost forgot. This book is called
Oh
Beyond
yes.
Khoisan
Hmm.
Historical Relations in the Kalahari Basin. It was from 2014 by Anna Marie and Tom Goldman, whatever. Good book. Has information also on haplogroup E1B1B. So I advise you all read that. But this book also talks about the Herero, which is what the paper, the
Right.
relevant paper, also discusses. The
And so
Jakari and the
everybody
Herero.
understands when you get that book, or if you decide to buy the book, is different papers in the book.
Right.
Like they took papers, different studies, and they put them into a book so they harmonize together. So some of it is genetic, some of it is linguistics,
Hmm.
and what else, Avery?
Some of it has like some archaeology and stuff.
Archaeology, yeah, but they harmonize it. They take in studies and they put it together. So that book has different series of or different volumes of different disciplines that I wouldn't say the book itself, but the series of books. They what they do is they take papers, genetic studies and archaeological studies, and you know, and they place them together and they harmonize to give you a full scope, from different disciplines, from different disciplines to basically uh give you a full scope or understanding or full view of the subject matter.
Right. So the last thing I'll say to end off, and I'll let everybody else say what they want to say. But when it comes to the Takari and the Herero, well, I just got done talking about a lot dealing with the Herero, so I just want to talk about the Takari on this last note. Again, when it comes to the Takari, they have an oral tradition of coming from Sudan, coming from the Nile River. And when it comes to the Jakari, they have 77% Nilo Saharan Mercery DNA. This collaborates perfectly with the idea of them coming from East Africa, since they literally have 77% of their DNA coming from East Africa. It would seem like the Dakari is a now Bali African population that came over at some point in history. I don't know when. Um, and furthermore, when it comes to this Nilo-Saharan population, the Mercy, they have over 75% Dinka DNA. They also have Egyptian DNA, and they also have Mota DNA. So the person who's trying to make this racist claim that we are the Takari and the Herero is basically saying that we are now Valley Africans that came from Eastern Africa into West Africa. Yet at the same time, he's trying to say we've been stuck in West Africa. He's saying that 77% of our DNA is Ethiopian. Last I checked, when most African Americans take a DNA test, they don't get 77% Nilo Saharan. And yeah, I can
But
go
that's the
on and
same
on.
thing he did. He just moved. He shifted the argument from Nigeria with the Bantus, excuse me, with the pygmy population, and what was the study on the ancient DNA, that the archaic DNA from the populations in Nigeria.
You're below. You shoot.
The West
Yes,
African foragers.
yes, but what was their name? What was the cave? Where did they find that? Huh?
Shumlaka? Are you talking about
Shumlanka.
Shumlaka?
Right. So he just shifted. He made the first argument with Shumlanka. What, about a couple of months ago? Maybe like 2 or 3 months ago.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
said
And
that
so
about
was us. That was our ancestors.
yeah.
right, that's what he said. The Shumlanka, the archaic ghost population from there. Then he shift from there. And once we beat him over the head with that and straighten that out, now he moved this over to the east coast of Africa by the Horn and continuing the same
On
nonsense.
accident. He did it on accident because he didn't mean to tie us to East African. Because his
Right.
whole premise is that we've always been West
Archaic.
African. We always
Right.
been in West Africa and always been there, and we're tainted, and our blood is tainted. West Africans are low IQ and genetically deficient, and all this other bullshit.
Right. So he's fighting all the archaic genomes throughout, from the Horn to West Africa into Nigeria with the Pygmies, and now the Nilots. He moved to the Nilot side, and he's still ad hocing an argument that we're archaic.
It's obviously he didn't know that the
No,
Mercery were
I
like
agree.
were like, So, like, one, it's obvious he didn't know that the Takari has an oral history of coming from the Nile River, which obviously means that they didn't originate in West Africa. They they came to West Africa. He didn't know that. It's
Mhm.
obvious that he didn't know that the Mercy people had like over 75% Dinka and Egyptian DNA. They even have Egyptian and
Mhm.
Moda DNA. He didn't know that. Um,
which
so it's
puts them
like,
in the Sudan. That puts them in the Sudan, right?
Mhm.
Because Dinka are Sudanic people. And it also connects them to Eurasian gene flow. It connects them to a lot. That's why y'all don't want to place them in North or East Africa, because when you start doing that, it's gonna bust open your fucking your grape, nigga.
Right. And you're
You
not
have
gonna
your
find
grapefruit
you're not
wide
gonna
open,
find a
man.
yeah, and you're not gonna find a lot of this archaic genome when you start going north, unless you start touching on Neanderthals, which E1B1B would have brung in to the area and across the Mediterranean, you would have had Neanderthal, DNA. So, you know what I'm saying? He's trying to stick us to this ghost population.
which doesn't even work because most of the DNA of the Herero and the Takari is like 77% Eastern African.
Hmm. But the
So
Eastern Africans to him are 77% archaic.
No. He's saying that 23% is archaic, but he said that that's our parentage because he don't know how to read this. He said that's our
Mhm.
direct descent, the 23%. And that's only the Takari and the Herero. That's not the other Bantu groups. That's not the other Yoruba that have that much of a archaic component. It's clear they're getting it from the damn rainforest groups.
Right.
What's this?
this is the Takari. This is
Oh,
a
the
page
Kari,
talking
yes,
about them.
in
And I just
Cameroon.
want to show again, just show more people about the Takari and their interesting history. So it says right here, um, at some point in time, the ancestors of Takari moved from the Sudan and to the Adamwada northern region of present day Cameroon. Where are they coming from? They're coming from Sudan. They're coming from East Africa. They were not
Hmm.
always in West Africa. What does it say right here? It says,
Hence the 77% mercy DNA that
Hmm.
proves that they have components that come from East Africa, and it shows an east to west trek.
exactly, east to west trek. And furthermore, it says they settled in a village they named
Gambia,
Negambi,
them Gambi,
Namgambi, where
hmm
they
or Ngambi,
intermarried
Ngambi,
Ngambi, where they intermarried with select grassland farmers and
hmm.
animal herders. Interesting.
Pastoralists.
Yes, pastoralists and hunter gatherers,
Uh,
which fits their DNA. Interesting how the oral traditions of these African groups actually really does support the DNA.
husbandry and pastoralism.
Yeah. Says up here, according to the oral and documented history of the Takari, they originated in present day Sudan. Shout out to the Nile Saharians. It is believed that when they inhabited Sudan, they lived adjacent to two groups. The first group comprised of iron makers slash blacksmiths and carpenters in the Moro Kingdom. By the way, that's a Nubian uh, kingdom.
Shout
Uh,
out my Bantu iron smelters.
yeah, shout out. This group, ancestors of the Mende, later left the Sudan and moved west towards Lake Chad. Interesting. So, are you saying, person who made the comment, that we came from the Moro Kingdom in Sudan and we migrated to Lake Chad and then eventually to West Africa? Says they eventually traveled to the Mali Empire and, along with the town Fulani and the Mende, founded the Kingdom of Mani, whatever. The
Money.
second group, ancestors of the Fulani, arrived in the Sudan from Egypt and Ethiopia. That makes a lot of sense
Hmm.
according to their DNA.
These cattle and goat herders moved west to Lake Chad near present-day Cameroon, Niger, and Nigeria before traveling across West Africa. You
Interesting.
goddamn dummy.
They came from the east to the west. It
Hey,
is
where's that
believed.
you big dummy? Where's that you big dummy? Where's that Sanford and Son?
Yeah, we
My
do
man,
need
my
that
bro.
clip.
Yeah, bro sleep, bro sleep.
It is believed that when the ancestors of the Jakari were in the Sudan, along They lived along the Nile
River.
River. They were there. They developed their cattle grazing, iron making, horse riding, and fighting skills.
Hold on, real quick. I gotta say
Hey,
something.
they need Yap Gang. They need Yap
They
Gang, bro.
need
They
Yap.
need us.
They
They
need
need
Yap.
us.
But
We
Jabari,
we so
oh,
deep.
oh, let me
Go
say
ahead.
this real quick, Jabari. If you watching, because I was made privy that
Uh-oh.
certain of the guys watching.
Oh,
This
really?
not
So we
you, bro.
caveated. So we
This ain't no
caveated it.
ancestry, bro. Don't try
So
to
we caveat.
don't
We
drop
ca-
our ancestry, nigga. You R1BM 269. You come from West Europe. I hate you niggas, man. You niggas will come on here and try to take y'all always try to demarcate everybody else and tell them what they can't be. But
So you
thank God
caveated it to
for
the
DNA
conscious
tests.
community.
Thank God for DNA tests. Nigga, use a
Yes.
R1B M269 carrier. Use a Western European, Scottish, English born African American. This ain't talking about your ass. Go ahead, brother.
And
Oh
it's funny how
man.
the oral history of these African groups matches perfectly with the DNA. Like everything that this paper's saying, you can see in the DNA because they do have East African DNA.
Yes, sir.
They
The
do
mig-
have this.
the migration pattern. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, that's all. They like the DNA matches with the oral history, and I bet you the person who made that comment isn't trying to say that we come from Egypt or Nubia or Eastern
Oh
Africa and
no.
migrated to West Africa. I bet that's not
That
what
would
he's
make
trying
you
to say.
human. That would make you human.
Yeah, exactly. Which is kind of sad. It's
Yeah, that would make
sad
you
thing.
you would no longer be a monkey.
Exactly.
Oh,
Unless
what they
unless
say?
he's going to
Go
start
Hogan.
saying that East Africans are monkeys too, but
Well, he might if we beat his head in enough because he already shifted from I keep forgetting the name of the tomb uh in
Sri Lanka.
Nigeria, Sri Lanka. He moved it from Sri Lanka to the Horn of Africa to East Africa. What's next?
Exactly. As a matter of fact, if we have a show tomorrow, I want to pick up right on this. I want to just again show the people the DNA of the Takari and the Hera wrote. It's coming from East Africa, and their oral history says they came from East Africa.
Mm.
Like that needs to be stressed. The oral history lines up with the DNA. So
You
according
know,
to that person who made the comment, we come from East Africa.
you
We
know,
migrated to West Africa, and that's how we got the archaic DNA. Even though we don't have
exactly.
23%, that part's a lie, but and also we're not Nilo-Saharan, but
That's a
person,
good place to pick up on tomorrow.
yeah. So y'all want to end it here or what?
Yeah, but I want to say this real quick because it's crazy because when we talk about East Africa and the gene flow into East Africa with the Jays and Somali and uh the different gene flow that came in through Yemen, these guys have no problem. This asshole, I should say, has no problem with any other haplogroup that comes into East Africa. But E1B1A, it's a it's a serious problem for these guys, yo. It's like they don't care about anything else. They don't even argue anything about E1B1B in North Africa.
Look what I found, bro. This is gonna
Oh
kill him.
man.
Look what I
Oh,
found.
the car
Takari
and the
Bamalinke
Bemlenki.
history. What
Yeah,
what does it say?
Bamalinke
Based on historians, the Takari ancestors was living a long time ago in the Arabian Peninsula in the
Peninsula.
area between Yemen and
Exactly.
Palestine.
Yemen and Palestine. I just brought that up. That's what I'm talking about. They have no problem. But then when you start talking about our lineage, then all of a sudden we're archaic. Where everything else, we're monkeys, we're everything else, but where Jays came through Yemen to East Africa, you know what I'm saying? R, what you name it, they came through. T, they came through. But once you start talking E1B1A, it's a problem.
We
Bro,
found
bro,
some
Coming
look,
through
Pan
the same
Africans in that
corridor.
region
Through
too.
the same corridor. Yeah, but coming through the same corridor. It's like this shit is ridiculous, yo. Excuse my language. God, I'm sorry.
No, we invite the language. Niggas need to be talked to like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's too much soft talk on the damn internet. Niggas be coddling niggas and shit. Like, no, ain't no coddling. You need to be cursed out. Curse the fuck out.
Especially when you calling us monkeys and archaic humans and low IQ and all the shit y'all be talking.
Racist rhetoric.
This is the corridor into Africa, into the continent of Africa from Eurasia was through Yemen and through Northeast Africa, Egypt. Like this is the corridor, and we came through there. The Bantu populations came through there, just as well as the J's, the T's that y'all don't have no problem with.
Yeah, actually they do. Actually they do, bro.
They
They
do,
got a
bro.
problem with them too. Bring up the
Yeah.
lumber. Bring up
Oh,
the
that's true. Bring up the lumber. You 100%. But you know why? Because they darkies.
because they black. That's all it is.
Yeah.
You niggas
Because they
is racist, bro.
darkies. Like they like to call them darkies. They're darkies. But anybody that has, like medium brown skin that came through that same corridor, it's not a problem.
It's funny because we can have medium brown skin too, but they call us black.
Exactly. And we don't even talk in those terms. We don't talk black, white. That's not how we operate.
Yep.
These people is something else, man. No, I want
I'll
to see
drop the
people.
link to you, Rue, in the Telegram. I've been studying the Takari for a while. I know a lot about them for reasons of my own.
The Takari, not the Sakari. I want everybody to know.
Yeah.
He
Takar.
didn't say Sakari. He not studying under vanilla Hebrew.
Yeah.
It's Takari.
It says Takar.
Yeah, Takari.
With a T. Takar. Okay.
Yeah.
But this is a great source though. Some wars between Arabs make the Takars' ancestors to migrate in the area between Sudan and Egypt, and then that's probably eventually where they would have traveled from to get to West Africa. But anyways, the Takari overall have a history of coming from the east to the west. That's basically what all these oral testimonies are saying. So is that what you're saying, guy who made those comments? Are you saying that we actually do come from the east or the north of Africa? Because that's what the paper is talking about, Takari.
He accidentally, because he don't know. This is what I'm saying.
He doesn't understand gene flow. He really doesn't understand gene flow.
Tripping over his own damn feet, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Literally, bro.
Let me read this.
That's why he doesn't want to debate. Go ahead, my bad.
Let me read this from the study, man. Let me just read this right here. We can conclude. It says, our study depicts a complex demographic history of African populations, consisting of ancient population divergence, regional and cross-continental migration, which these niggas don't believe in, but the damn papers are saying it.
Mm-hmm.
Papers saying Fulani migrated, the ancestors of the Takar migrated. We're seeing it in the genes. It says in admixture events. Although phylogenetic analysis indicate that the son descend from a population ancestral to all other modern humans, demographic modeling using MOMI allowing for changes in effective population size and migration between populations consistently supports a model in which the rainforest hunter-gatherers and sun form a sister clade, deriving from a population ancestral to all other modern human populations. We find similar effective population sizes of the sun and rainforest hunter-gatherers from 50 to 200,000 years ago, consistent with shared common ancestry. Similarly, admixture analysis identifies shared ancestry between the sun, the rainforest hunter-gatherers, particularly at low K values. On the other hand, QP graphs suggest that the rainforest hunter-gatherers of Bantu population derive a substantial portion of their ancestry from a population that is an outgroup to all modern population. That's that archaic hominid. Again, rainforest hunter-gatherers and Bantus, right? One possibility to explain these observations is a model with multiple introgression events between a deeply diverged population, diverging less than 1 to 3 million years ago, with the ancestors of all modern humans. So that's where they're saying that's coming from. That's where the paper says it's coming from. and more recently with the ancestors of the rainforest hunter-gatherers and Bantu populations, consistent with previous reports of archaic introgression in African populations. What paper do they quote? 55. What paper is that, Avery?
Shumlanka.
Mm-hmm.
You
So-
dumb fucker, man.
And the Shumlanka said that those remains had what? Haplogroup A, B, and mitochondrial L0, not
Exactly.
EW1L.
L0.
Exactly.
Yes.
Interesting. Got it.
And then
Yeah.
this paper also discusses the different migration events. They even labeled them as 1 through 10. How many different migration between not just the haplogroup E, but the basal populations of Africa, the basal populations, and how they found integration between them because of their movement in the area. I think it went from 1 to 10. Let me try to find that. Y'all know what I'm talking about?
Wait, repeat that again.
Yes, the migrational steps. I know
The
what you're talking
migrational steps, yes. Let me see. Hold on. Let me grab it.
about. They infer a number of steps.
Right. Just for the first few steps, I think the first 5 steps were for the basal populations. And then as we move forward from 5 up, you start seeing uh Eurasian populations coming in and picking up because they admixed with them, or they procreated with them. So then you started seeing the Bantu populations starting to pick up these signals from archaic Africans. Let me see if I can find it. I'm sorry. I know it's getting late, man.
No, that's all good.
Where's those steps? You already have it up here, don't you? So, bro, scroll down. You know what I'm talking about, your shoot? Where the steps are?
The charts, yeah. It goes into the charts where, the tables, and it
Not
talks
even
about
the charts. Right before the charts, they gave the actual steps, like 1, 2, 3, 4, in wording.
yeah. But it's referring to the tables
Right.
when it says steps, like 5 steps,
Hmm.
5-step migration. I know what you're talking about.
Hmm.
Hold on, I'm looking at another paper right now. Hold on, I'm gonna go back
Okay,
to
that's
that.
fine.
I'm looking at this paper here. Um, but there's a key point I want to bring out before we got off of here, and we take our asses to sleep, and this nigga be up all night on Facebook arguing with himself, calling black people monkeys and shit, saying black people got low IQs and shit. Even though Nigerian Americans excel over a lot of groups, if not all groups,
Even though we have
and they more West African than African Americans,
exactly,
autosomally speaking.
literally, we have more Eurasian DNA than them. But should they be smarter than us? Sometimes.
You niggas are dumb. You niggas is dumb, bro. So yeah, I'm just looking over this paper where it talks about the 64% basal West African. Here it is. 64% basal West African in Sri Lanka. And these individuals, A and B, right? This is obviously the source of where that archaic DNA is coming from. It's coming from those forest groups. That's what the evidence. See, y'all not letting the evidence lead you to the conclusion. Y'all have these presuppositions of how you feel about West Africans and black people in general, and then try to read into these papers your presuppositions and your racism. That's all you did. That's all you did, man.
And then make the claim that that's what the paper's talking about, even though it's not talking about that. Because I still haven't found anything that said pre-Adamites.
No.
You're not going to. Nor
Oh
with
snap! I'm
anybody
not.
else.
Not really. Oh shoot. Then why bring them up? Why bring up pre-Adamites if the paper ain't going to say, "Oh man."
Because the information is it's way over his head, and in order for him to bring it back down to earth for him, he has to interject this the ad hominems and you know operate from his lower self in order to try to bring us down.
Right. Because not only have I not seen pre-Adamites in the paper, I also haven't seen where it says West Africans descend from chimps, apes, and monkeys. I haven't found that either.
Even this
Hmm.
graph shows that, right? The chimp has a
Yeah, chip.
branch. Humans come, the archaic hominids, and then they split off Neanderthals, and then there's the ghost, the modern ghost that was split off.
Martin goes to one.
Yeah, and then you
Right,
keep going down, modern ghost two, and then you see the Homo sapiens sapiens splits.
right,
I'm saying that these people are chimps. It's saying the chimp and the ancestors of Homo sapiens sapiens share a common ancestor, which is a
right.
common belief in evolutionary science.
And for those who would think that the Neanderthal is closer to chimps, just you know what I'm saying, because we got racists on our side too. Don't do that. Don't go there. I mean, because these modern ghost populations are would be sister or not modern. These archaic ghost populations would have been the sister sister. I'm sorry, what you say, bro?
Sister branch.
Yeah, it would be the sister branch of the Neanderthals, or so then pretty much no different. They just have not found a viable or of they're just finding the genome in people and not finding the actual bodies to sequence so they can actually give them a proper name. The ghost population is because it's literally a ghost. They just finding the genome for them and not bodies. Or
Mm-hmm.
bodies that they could pull uh the genome from or sequence to get genetics from.
It says right here in this paper, in addition to well characterized deep lineages, we also detect at least one deep ghost source contributing to West Africans and East African hunter gatherers. This signal corroborates previous evidence for Hadza and Sandawi and for West Africans, although we find that the best fit of a source splitting near the same point as Southern and Central African hunter gatherers. That's where the source comes from. This is why we actually read the papers. It comes from this group. So so the Congo speakers was largely E1B. Well, they start mixing with this group, and that's how they pick those autosomes up.
Exactly. Pygmies aren't even technically like aren't even technically archaic. They're
They're
humans too,
not.
and we mixed
Exactly.
with them, and then that's how we got it. And we only have, I think, from the paper 9 to 13% archaic, and all human populations have around 5 to 15% archaic, according to the new paper that we read. You shoot
Yep.
5 to 15%. So we have an average amount, no different than any other modern human.
But the pygmies also procreated themselves before we got to them with other basal populations in Africa that had archaic genome genetics in them,
Mhm.
and so they shared and swapped those genes prior to us getting to them.
You know what the real issue is? The real issue is because it says West African, and therefore, since we're in West Africa today, automatically they think, oh, that's your ancestors. It says it's West
Hmm.
African, basal West African. You're West
Yeah,
African. That's how they think.
Oh, for the
but they
people
can't
saying that,
find.
the paper says here, let's go back.
Mhm.
Paper said, we didn't went over the damn paper so many damn times. It's just ridiculous at this point.
I mean, it's good because we really, really
Keeps us
understand
sharp,
the paper.
bro. It keeps us sharp. It keeps us sharp. They're helping us to revisit stuff we already know.
Yep.
You want to answer this while I find this?
Yeah, the Mayans should have been haplogroup Q, right?
Mm-hmm. No, that's it. That brother researching the 12 tribes chart. I bet you.
Yeah, we're behind the 8 ball, but
I
I
said
don't want to be disrespectful.
linguistic and genetic evidence points to Western Cameroon's most likely area of development of Bantu languages and as the ultimate source of subsequent migrations of Bantu speakers. And while regional mid-Holocene archaeological records are sparse, Sri Lanka has been highlighted as possibly an important site in the early phases of this process. However, the genetic profiles of our 4 sampled individuals, even by 3000 BP, that's 1000 BCE, even by
Before
3000
present.
BP, when the spread of Bantu language and the ancestry associated with Bantu speaking populations already underway, are very different from those of most Niger Congo speakers today, implying that these individuals are not representative of primary source populations ancestral to present day Bantu speakers. How many times I got to read that to these dumbass niggas, man? All right. And that's the motherfucking deal.
I knew you was gonna say that. Do we got any more to share with them on this tomorrow?
Yeah, are we? I guess we don't even have to meet up tomorrow if y'all don't want to. We kind of did cover everything.
You sure you got everything off? You got everything off, Avery?
Yeah, I actually covered everything I wanted to be honest.
Okay. All right.
So
I'm
y'all
gonna blame
done?
you tomorrow. I'm gonna blame you tomorrow when I'm walking around here like a zombie.
Yeah, man.
I
done
meant
too.
to do. We
Unless
meant to do
Yeshua
this
got
show
something else you want to add to it.
we meant to do this show earlier, but I started talking to Akmalak and everything.
He gonna cook a nigga, so I want to see it.
Yeah, what? That's a classic. Please tell me you snipped that.
Oh no, what nothing happened. What are you talking about?
What are you talking about? We snipped
No.
that. I know that's gonna be in the archive. I'm a cooker nigga. I ain't never heard you talk like that before.
I'll cook this nigga. I was like, oh shit, let's hurry up and get this camera on and let's get the live going, man.
I thought he was from East New York, Brooklyn, the way he said that shit.
Oh man. Shout out to E. Reed. Shout out to everybody participating in the tournament. Shout out to Gold Coast Gorillas. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to all the brothers that's not afraid to debate.
Yeah. Akmalak. What's the other brother name? Battle Axe. Yeah. Everybody that came through tonight, participating.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all tell me when y'all done, because I got one last thing for the person we just addressed in this video.
All right, go ahead, drop it so we can get
y'all
to
done?
bed. Yeah.
Right. You insecure fucking prick. It's like your brain doesn't fucking work. You idiot. You're honestly an idiot. I don't know what's wrong with you. You think you're the shit, whereas you're far from it. You're still stupid in your fucking head. You idiot. You're honestly an idiot. You're an imbecile. You fucking prick. Fucking prick. Only way this will get through to your thick head, prick. Fuck you.
And that's the motherfucking deal.
Yeah.
7 candlesticks up, and I've been telling you niggas, ain't a debate. It's a stick up gang.
I don't live track out, nigga. I don't live catchy. Niggas know what's going on.
Load it up.
All that tough talk, nigga, come be target practice. These 223s taking souls and they doing damage. Stink team with them niggas with exotic fast. So young bitchin' in my ear, I just flew fly him. The gang of them just strip that nigga pieces, grab his phone after. Monkey nuts jumping off the top, going chimpanzee. Gave him SpongeBob hoes, I know he miss Sandy. Hit her up with donut holes, he just yell Randy. They ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some. Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. I think you owe some. Strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting. They ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some. Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. I think you owe some. Strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting. Nigga, they ain't know nothing, cock back and blow some, bitch. Nigga, Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. Nigga.
Yeah.
I think you owe something. Strip, he's a pole dancer.
You know the truth.
He only said
Only
one
a
word
Draco.
and I just start blasting.
Had to flee the scene, it was kinda graphic. It's our first mixtape, but we been established. Give him 32 shots, I'm finna show him magic. Off the muscle, nigga, this a guaranteed classic. If we poppin' out, you know I'm bringing stick, of course. Ballin' out on niggas, I ain't out here tryna play no sport. Kick her out the crib, tell a bitch not to fight the force. Strip a tall nigga, pockets loose, he came up short. Niggas nerves and dorks, count these automatic bullets. Hit him in his head, turned his dreadlocks into a mullet. I think you owe something, strip for me, give it up. Got home and hit the field again, that was not enough. Like a nigga double dutch, hop, skip, run and jump. Trippin', fallin', pulling up his jeans, he was out of luck. Too gritty, bitch, this for life, this is not for fun. Niggas took my dog, now all these niggas be hard to trust.
They ain't on nothing, cock back and blow some. Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. I think you owe something. Strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting. They ain't on nothing, cock back and blow some. Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. I think you owe something. Strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting. Nigga, they ain't on nothing, cock back and blow some, bitch. Nigga, Hun Diddy's all on the flow, I'm a stove cracker. Nigga, I think you owe something. Strip, he's a pole dancer. He only said one word and I just start blasting.